Hey, y'all, gravity, any day above ground, live it. We are here. I am sorry I'm late. I was trying to get some stuff done for this show, and unfortunately, but fortunately, the interview that I wanted to get, you got to pay for it, but we don't need the whole interview. I don't care about the whole interview. I just care about the part that inspired this show. And we have to thank someone on X for this because I heard rumblings of it, but I figured it died down because, it's white conservatives and Candace Owens. But apparently it's worse than we thought. And it's a beautiful piece of tape that we're going to listen to. And I need this because I told y'all the grift is over.
Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock.
No more fake friends in 2024. 2024 is the year of exposure. 2024 is the year of exposure. Everybody's getting exposed. Now, we know it started late last year. We know this. But let's go down the list, family. Matter of fact, let me put myself on the screen. Hey, son, give me some of that sun. Yes, sir. That vitamin D, boy. Pause. Y'all not funny. Y'all are not funny.
Pause.
Pause.
Pause. I said pause, nigga.
That's pause. But anyway, everybody's getting exposed, and I like it. Let's go down the list. We got Cat Williams goes on Club Shay Shay, exposes the whole Hollywood empire. Yes, he did. A lot of that stuff we already knew, some stuff we didn't. Okay. All the pro-Israel idiots found out you're dumb. We found out you're dumb, but we just got clarification and confirmation. That's great. Remy got exposed as the grifter that he is, because now he's considering Trump. And you know what we say to news like that, because it's Remy.
Who cares?
That's right. White conservatives have been getting exposed for the last 10 weeks, starting from last year, over calendars. They wanted to be pinup girls. We'll say it because we don't care over here. They did a whole Twitter space lamenting the fact that they can't pull the conservative only fan grift.
Bro, what you on?
Them fools went in a Twitter space for 2.5 hours to argue this. We have comedians trying to be edgy. They're not edgy. Talking about, I'm only going to apologize to the family. I ain't going to apologize to the public. Okay, motherfucker, your career is over. And it's a beautiful thing.
This is way over the edge. Like we it's not even over the edge. We died already.
This is beyond the event horizon. Like we about to hit the vortex.
Yeah, we about to hit the vortex.
Yeah.
We got fake MAGA people running around talking about they're gonna run for public office, and you have an endorsement from Trump. You got all them pictures on your social media of you hugging up on Trump, trying to look like Arnold Drummond from different strokes, and you can't even win an election where only 800 some people came outside. You got to go to a runoff with the leading white man. Negro, please.
Free my people. No. Free my people. Free my people. No.
You got idiot white conservatives online lamenting and pissed off at an anthem you hear one time a year, and y'all didn't even realize that we weren't even arguing the racism part of it. We were arguing the fact that y'all didn't even read what the song was about, which is exactly the ideals that you claim to love. I'm sorry to say it. Conservatives do not read. And you let them talk more and more, they prove this. Books elude conservatives. I may have to make a t-shirt and do that for the election cycle and piss them off. But they think they won something because Megyn Kelly and other white people came outside and said that it's divisive. And then you got the coons outside. And no original thought. They just parrot the shit. And then when it's all over and they click off on their videos and upload it, they be like this here. And now today, family, we will document this beautiful fight that is fixing to take place. You got Ben Shapiro, Mr. Pro-Israel, versus Tucker Carlson. And Tucker Carlson said some very interesting things about what Ben Shapiro said. And in the middle is y'all's Candace Owens. Because if I'm predicting, if this don't work out right, she's going to be gone from the Daily Wire before the summertime. And she's going to be trying to do what Tucker Carlson does. And you already know how that grift going to work. But I ran it enough. I had more, but that was going to be another 10 minutes, and y'all don't want to hear that. Y'all want to see the evidence. So we're going to begin, but first, we have to acknowledge the tabernacle that came in. I'm going to be petty. The offering plate finna go around. I need y'all to put something in the offering. All right, whatever. I get it. Y'all didn't get paid yet. Y'all get paid next week. I understand. It's okay. We still do this. All right, let's see who's in the building. Vincent Taylor, good morning. Wallow J, good morning. You feel nothing? That's great. That's how you're supposed to feel. Miss Nisi, hello. We gave you the results of the CJ Pearson. We'll say it again for those who came in late. He's going to a runoff with the leading white man, Gary Johnson. That is March 12th. All that Trump endorsement, all that MAGA. Hey, CJ, they should prove to you that MAGA don't like you, sir. Now you're going to have to go stand on your own laurels. Let's see you pull this off. Or are you going to become the 21-year-old Herschel Walker? Goddamn, I'm going somewhere with this.
Fuck out of here.
That's right. We continue. Let's see who else is in the building. Cosmic Fury, hello. Jerry Bedford, hello. SD Johnson 857, good morning. Catsy, good morning. Nightfall Drop, good morning. Black Star Racer said it's gonna be juicy. Pause. Yeah, you said pause. All right, we're gonna let it ride. Pause. Hack Sign KT, hello. Brother Torian Rain, hello. If you did not see the Brother Torian Rain's live this morning, it was great. I mean, premiere / live, whatever. It's YouTube, whatever. I was bouncing in between, pause, listening to Matt Black TV and Torian Reigns live. So if I bring those up later and I misconstrue them, do not get mad at me. Damn it. Yes, Cosmo Fury. Yes, the pudgy comedian apologized because what I think Steven Jackson got at him in DM said, I'm nothing but a flight to Atlanta and you're going to have to come see me. So, yeah. Oh, by the way, him apologizing pissed off the left, the right. I'm sorry, not the left. He pissed off the right. They mad at him now. Hey, and what did I tell you? It's a beautiful thing. But you know how we say it over here.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you,
we don't care.
Jerry.
We do not care. Let's see. Who else have we not acknowledged? I think I might have acknowledged Nightfall Drop, but if I didn't, good morning. Let's see. Who else? Shamika Gray. Good morning. Damn, Vincent, you didn't like it? I'm surprised you didn't like it. It comes with a beer that you get in 30 days. Come on now, you gotta like it. Miss Nisi, thank you for the $5 super sticker. Sybil, good morning. Johnny Gibbs, good morning. Yes, I saw. No, well, he did that yesterday, Tori. Remember, we played that video on Monday, right? Was it Monday? Yeah, it was Monday. We played that video. Yeah, or Tuesday. One of them. So you see, I got black light syndrome. I'm streaming so much now. I don't even remember when I streamed. Rob, don't you get mad at me when you hear that. Don't get mad. I'm just saying. But anyway, yeah, we documented that. I thought he was actually going to be black for a minute and put it and go in on her. But then, of course, he said, "Don't say it ain't racist if it ain't racist." So we sent him the link of her defending blackface, and of course, he ain't say nothing. But it is what it is. That is true, Vincent Taylor, but you also have to ask the question when you first meet them, how many senators have you been on? Oh, Lord.
Bro, what you on?
Cosmo Fury said, isn't it crazy that they hate us so much for holding our own accountable along with them? No, because they want to be the ones to do it. Haven't you ever noticed? You're right. Whenever we correct people, we are lambasted for it, and it needs to be studied, just like it needs to be studied that they still bring up Thomas Sowell, because I actually got into an argument on X yesterday about Thomas Sowell, because of course white people. Let me start off with this before we get into the Fannie Will stuff, and then yes, I'm going to briefly talk about the Chiefs parade thing, and then we're going to get into the actual show. This is a message for all America and the world, because this is going to extend beyond our borders, as non-existent as they are. If you see somebody pop up talking real nice, whatever words they use touch your soul, and they're touted as intellectual thought leaders, free thinkers, whatever term you want to use, I would question it. Case in point, y'all are bringing up Thomas Sowell again, talking about he's a social philosopher. What the fuck is that? We looked it up. So it's basically someone that looks at life and comes up with a quote. That's the way I look at it. By that logic, then all of us can be social philosophers. Oh, you want to go economist? Cool. Beautiful. So his first job that you list on his Wikipedia page, he don't even do no more. Y'all just use him to take shots at the black community. Shout out to Chris Crazy House. I saw that video. Beautiful piece of business he did. Thoroughly broke it down. Go look at that later. If they give you your thought leaders, question it. Thomas Sowell's been the op. I done told y'all this. We showed the receipt. For 40 years, he's been the op. Walter Williams, regardless of whatever he says he's good, he's been the op. Everybody that was at the Fairmont Conference has been the op. It is incumbent on them, even though I'm the accuser, it is incumbent on the accused in this situation to prove that they are not the op. And Thomas Sowell has never proved that he's not the op. And then they wonder why we do not hold them up in high regard. They are not on the Black History Month laminated pictures that the kids see in the classroom because he's an op. But this is the same community, in large part, that does not respect somebody that has a white wife. But y'all want to tell me that Thomas Sowell is the man. No. Case in point, we're going to go beyond the borders now. Who remembers Jordan Peterson? Yeah, he went viral for his lectures and him having debates with his college students. Again, if they give you your thought leaders, I question it. Now, white people are going to be mad. Jordan Peterson's the man. How can you say that? Okay, great. I will explain it to you. He got hot on the internet, right? Cool. So did Tamika Mallory. And what ended up happening with Tamika Mallory's case? Talking all big and bad online, getting all the interviews, Rock Nation and all this. Come to find out, she started getting challenged. Couldn't stand up to it. She was going on radio stations talking, and credit to the critter, even though he a coon, Charlamagne was pushing back on her, and she started blah, blah, blah. Then she made the revelation, Rock Nation pays me to go outside. Then that white girl and that AAPI female with the hijab basically G'd her and took everything that she had and invalidated her. Now she's trying to regain herself, and it's not going to work. This is a different era. We moved on. Same thing with Jordan Peterson. He got hot. Everybody wanted to interview him. Everybody was quoting him. He started getting challenged, and then all of a sudden he had a mental breakdown, and he'd been sitting down. Now he's trying to make a comeback. No. This is probably going to be the most important thing I say about this segment. Y'all have to understand why our master teachers are who they are, and we know the names. We don't have to run them down. Haven't y'all noticed that with our master teachers, we barely, listen to me, we barely quote what they say. Yes, we could use the John Henrik Clarke quote. I only debate my equals, the rest I teach. How often do you hear us saying it? Nellie Fuller's great quote about white supremacy. How often do we talk about that? Francis Cress Welsing talking about white supremacy and birth breaking. How often do we talk about that? We don't, because we understand their words are legendary, and legendary words do not need to be repeated. When legendary words are repeated, it becomes a catchphrase. Common Soul is nothing but catchphrases, and catchphrases lose their value over time. Since I got to explain it to high IQ and their Asian adjacent partners. Most of them. The purpose of a master teacher is they're supposed to provide you the lessons that they have gleaned. You take that knowledge and you create your own destiny. You create your own quotes. They don't do that. They'll be quick to put up, look at Thomas Sowell, look at my reaction video. Look at what he's saying. He's right. Okay, explain it. Oh, black people bad. Black on black violence. Great. Explain why there's black on black violence. Oh, black people are just, they're violent. Okay, dumbass, you're black, so that means you're violent. Oh, no, I'm not violent. I don't do that. Dumbass, you just said black people are violent. So unless you're about to tell me that you're not black, you're violent too. Were you on the left? No, I think. I take people what they say and I go beyond what they say on surface level. You surface level thinkers are the reason why we're in the shape we're in. You hear one or two sweet nothings and you think that's it. That's life. Thomas Sowell is right. Walter Williams is right. All these buck dancing niggas out here, they're right. Stephen A. Smith, yeah, he yells about LeBron all day, but when he talks conservatively, he's right. Okay. They have enough money to stop cosplaying as real black people. You don't. Because if you tried that on YouTube, we know what happens. Your white audience turns on you that you just recently got. So that YouTube money starts. Then you're going to try to come back and act pro-black, but you're going to try to do 50-50. Ain't going to work. Your credibility's shot. So again, if they give you your thought leaders, they give you your intellectuals, I question it. Ramen noodles is another one. Notice all last year, talking. Everybody loving on him. He starts doing interviews, gets exposed. All of a sudden now, he tanks, he loses in primaries, bows out. Now all of a sudden he talking nothing but Constitution. The man who told us you should have civics back in school. Now he's talking Constitution where he could have started doing that when he ran. He might have still been in. But you niggas sat up there and interviewed this man and gave him a platform to be anti-black when he was talking to you directly to your face. You the same nigga he think does all the bad stuff, but you smile. So you're a smiling criminal. You're the criminal who smiles in their mugshot. Enjoy that. That's your legacy when this grift is over. That's your legacy. And that's why I can't wait till that night, boy. The meltdowns are going to be delicious. And by the time my birthday is that week after, boy.
TikTok, 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 TikTok.
All right, enough about that. Briefly on this Chiefs thing. I'm hearing conflicting reports. They're saying it was black people, white people already jumped on it. I'm hearing immigrants. I'm hearing them people jump on it. You motherfuckers, this is why you motherfuckers have no credibility. You motherfuckers don't wait till information comes out. Y'all saw a still picture of two supposed black kids in handcuffs, and you thought they did it. You automatically assume they didn't. Like, y'all don't know that people can be in handcuffs to be taken in for questioning. Nobody got charged officially, but y'all gonna run with that. Okay, got it. You see custody, you think that's charges, and you running outside doing your videos. Okay. Y'all did the same thing with Breonna Taylor, and look what happened. Y'all did the same thing with Kenneth Walker. Look what happened. Y'all did the same thing with George Floyd. Look what happened. All right. You know what? We saw this 4 years ago. That's cool. Do it again. Keep imbuing your integrity. We like it. All right. Enough about those assholes. Let's get to the show. Because I know y'all want to hear this Tucker Carlson clip, even though y'all don't want to hear from Tucker Carlson. But that's all right. We here for you. We here for you. Young Borders Media is here for you.
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern.
All right, so he talked to Russell Brand on Russell Brand's podcast called The Waking Wonders. Now, again, you have to pay on locals to watch this content. I ain't finna give him no $60 just to watch this. Nope. And he said you could pay $6, but I don't know if this content is behind the Content Plus wall, because I'd be pissed off if I pay $6 and then I don't get access to his content. I'll go ask for a refund. But, you know, as social media is, they were nice enough to put up a clip. This is the only clip I want, because I didn't want to hear nothing else Tucker Carlson was talking about. Now, this is about Ben Shapiro. Let's hear what he said. Fair use.
I would say two things. First, we have a right to be mad, at least. And let me just again speak for Americans, middle-aged Americans, which is what I am. You know, I've got 4 draft-age children. So if you're playing recklessly, fast and loose with their lives, then I have a right to despise you, and I do. So if you're Nikki Haley, who's running for president, or Ben Shapiro, or half the people I see on television casually mentioning the possibility of nuclear war or sending Americans to fight in the Middle East, or in any way involving us in a war that has nothing to do with prosperity and peace at home, nothing in other words to do with us, Americans, then I have a right to call you out and be really offended, because it's my family. They live here. It's not a joke to me. There's nothing abstract about it. And that is the difference between what's happening in the Middle East from what's happening in Ukraine, about which I had very strong feelings, but I didn't think there was a realistic possibility that my kids could be enmeshed in it. Now there is. So I think, you know, get some self-respect. I would say to my fellow Americans, get a clearer picture of what's important. Your children are important. Okay, that's number one, your children. And if they're threatening your children, I don't care what their justification is, they're your enemy. That's how I feel about it, okay? Number one. Number two, in the United States, the right defends free speech. For most of my life, the left defended free speech in the United States. Till about 2014-15, Donald Trump, a lot of things happened. The parties inverted, the wings inverted. The left became avowed enemies of free speech. And it was really up to the right to defend our First Amendment. The right to say what you think is true, not be a slave. Because, by the way, if you can't say what you think is true, you're not a citizen, you're not a human being, you're a slave. So the right has been the group defending that sacred, God-given right. With the rise of this war in the Middle East, you're watching people on the right say, well, actually, you know, there's a difference between hate speech and free speech. Well, no, there's not, actually. You may hate certain sorts of speech. Certain kinds of speech may be immoral. According to me, I think certain kinds of speech are immoral. But if you're suggesting they should be illegal, you can use the power of the state to make me be quiet and enslave me, then you are again my enemy. And you're seeing a lot of people on the right say that in the United States. And I'm absolutely shocked by it. I can't even believe what I'm watching. And I can't overstate my rage or my contempt for them. Because these are the people, and by the way, if they're not defending free speech in my country, no one is. And we're done. And we're going to have hate speech laws, which again are just laws that criminalizing speech that the people in charge hate, that they're threatened by. That's it. That's all they are. They're not on behalf of some oppressed group. Many of those groups are not actually oppressed, but leave that aside. Maybe they are oppressed, but it's not on their behalf that these laws will be passed. It's on behalf of the people in charge. And that's completely wrong. And you don't live in a free society. You don't live in a society of citizens and human beings. You live in a slave state when you have that. And the right
slave state, he says.
The people on the right who are calling for it should be deeply ashamed of themselves.
So that was what he said. Hey, we want this. Talk. Hey, Benjamin. What do we say in the hood? Fight back. Fight back, sir. Because you have been on record for years talking about I'm pro-Israel. I'm pro-Israel. Uh-huh. Yeah. And you know what's funny, family? Woo. He said all that. And then tried to come outside on this man. And he got owned. Now, I don't know if he took the post down because I'm trying to find it. But there's something I want y'all to hear as well. Oh, more people came in. I didn't even see this. Leonard Yuta, hello. I think I said hi to, I don't know. I think I said hi to Johnny Gibbs. Yes, I did. So good morning to you. Samuel Norton, good morning. JB Easy, good morning. Nightfall Drop said, oh, come on, what other people are known for rioting and fighting after the team wins a championship and anything else? Well, that was a shooting. So I won't put that on them. But yes, they be going hard in the paint, boy. They destroyed a whole college building after UConn won the chip. So yeah, we know. John Guillory, thank you for the $2 super sticker. All right. So everybody went after Ben Shapiro for this little tidbit that he said. I think this clip came out yesterday. They had the Daily Wire roundtable, and the usual suspects were there. But they asked him about a particular subject that he's been saying for years, the browning of America, and say how he supports it. And they called him to the carpet on it. They got the wine and the fancy cheese on the table. Probably got it from Publix. You know, I don't know who this wax figure is supposed to be, but bless him. Let's hear what he said. Fair use.
I want to talk about borders broadly in a minute, something that Michael and I have been talking about. But you said the Great Replacement. You said demographics. A part of it is that they're trying to change America from a predominantly white nation to a not predominantly white nation. Ben, you've taken a lot of flack online for commenting a couple times over the years that you don't give a damn about the browning of America. What do you mean by that?
I don't care about the race. I care about the ideology. I don't think that they care about the race, by the way. I think they care about the ideology. If they could import 200 million liberals from Sweden, I think that they would do it.
But isn't the point that just it so happened? I'm not saying it's good. I wish we could shift the whole black vote. I wish we could shift the whole Hispanic vote. But we just haven't. It just hasn't happened.
Well, I mean, but I don't see how that's relevant. In other words,
did you hear what that cocksucker said? I'm finna play it again. That's Michael Knowles, by the way.
200 million liberals from Sweden, I think that they would do it.
But isn't the point that just it so happened? I'm not saying it's good. I wish we could shift the whole black vote. I wish we could shift the whole Hispanic vote. But we just haven't. It just hasn't happened.
Well, I mean,
because you fucks. Hey, miss. Get that out of. Because I'm about to say bad words. The reason y'all can't shift that vote is because every time you think you're about to make a stride, somebody in your camp says something stupid. Y'all had the perfect stride because you saw online, as everybody in this chat saw, we're not enamored with Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, and the rest of them. We don't care. If she's a Joe Biden plant, more ammunition for us to sit home. This was your perfect opportunity to extend the olive branch. And y'all couldn't even extend the olive branch till after the game. You destroyed it, burned it, stomped on it, and did the Hulk Hogan leg drop because he's a racist. That's why I said him in particular before the kickoff. But then y'all wonder why you can't make inroads with the black community. Well, ain't that a shocker? How did Apollo Creed say it in Rocky 3? There is no tomorrow. And there y'all go. We'll continue. Why do y'all let Michael Knowles talk? He got owned by a 19-year-old in college. Why y'all letting him talk? I get it.
But I don't see how that's relevant. In other words, the way that the left likes to slander the right when they talk about things like the Great Replacement theory is by suggesting that the reason that the right is opposed to mass migration from these countries is because they want fewer brown people. The point that I was making is we don't want mass migration from countries that don't share our values. I don't care whether they're brown, whether they're green, whether they're white. Like, it doesn't make a difference.
Sir, there's been mass migration of people that don't like our, American values. Way before the border was really a problem. Y'all didn't care then. You said things fleetingly and you went back to go talk about something else. I'm going to say something wrong here. And I'm not offending anybody when I say this. The border should have been locked when Pan Am Flight 103 was destroyed in Ireland. I'm going to let y'all breathe on that. The border should have been shut when Pan Am Flight 103 was destroyed in Lockerbie. I'm sorry, not Ireland. Lockerbie, Scotland. Or Ireland. I forget what country it is. Lockerbie. It should have been destroyed. It was destroyed. The border should have been shut off. I think it was Bush. I think Bush was in office at the Bush one. Should have been closed. I know it happened in Europe, but that should have been a wake-up call. Didn't happen. Okay, didn't have nothing to do with us. Cool. Okay. Y'all had terrorists take hostages, boats, planes, all this. Doesn't matter the race. Border still open. Y'all had an infectious disease in Asia. You knew about it. You didn't close the border. You let them go to Washington State and start shutting this country down and changing it. I don't want to hear nothing about y'all with that border because your man was in office and y'all didn't press him hard enough to go shut that border. I don't want to hear it. Y'all wanted the browning of America because you want to be the minority victim.
Difference to me. If you come from a country where you are used to gigantic government services that take care of you and you're coming here to be reliant on those government services, or you don't share American feelings about how family ought to work or about how government ought to work or about many of these values, I don't care if you're pulling those people from Latin America, whether you're pulling those people from like the most liberal parts of Europe, like that doesn't matter to me. The ideology of the people who are coming in matters to me. So when I say about the browning of America, again, race is of no relevance to me.
You gotta love Ben Shapiro. He swears he's so smart and his wife is a doctor and he's so dumb. Sir, you're talking about the values of America. Would you like to tell them about the value of America where you cheat on your wife and that's okay? In suburbia, predominantly, would you like to talk to them about that? Those nice little white picket fence enclaves we'll start with the Caucasians, the Kardashians, and they like to pass around their wives to each other. The neighbors are having relations. Why do you think Desperate Housewife was so popular? Were they lying for 7 seasons? No, they weren't. The pool boy scenario on those adult sites came from suburbia, sir. The drug habits prevalent in the suburbia, but you couldn't announce that. Couldn't do it. Okay. We got that. American values. Snaking each other. Oh, yeah. It's easy to talk about, you know, in the hood, people snaking each other, often people. Funny thing. Then we get the media outside, and it seems like all these popular shows that become canon in the American lexicon, most of them are in and on streets with homes. There's no rampant violence all over. It's pretty quiet. They just pick and choose when they want to make the scenario that something's going to pop off. Y'all can't tell me a show on TV where from the first act all the way to the last is just rampant drug use, people killing each other. Y'all can't tell me one. Y'all want to criticize us so much, but then you love Breaking Bad. Y'all want to criticize Snowfall, but you gave Shameless 10 seasons. And they were literally poor white folk with a black adopted kid. Technically. No, I tell a lie. The mama had relations with a black man, but you know what I mean. But that was popular. Must be nice. Again, I ask Clairdashians, what is the American values? What is American culture? Please tell us. The Sopranos, thank you. Y'all act like y'all don't see power, but y'all still quoting Sopranos to this day. The Wire was trash. It didn't depict real life, even though the guy that wrote it was a cop. But okay. All the snaking that was going on in that show, but y'all love y'all some Dallas. Say less. The American culture is degeneracy. Just say it. It's okay. The whole world knows it. Hell, Putin in that interview told Tucker Carlson that to his face when he was discussing who bombed Nord Stream. It's degeneracy. But there was that. Now, remember how I said that old Ben tried that and people got at him? Oh, look at all this. Everybody's jumping on it. And it looks like, from what I've seen, everybody's on Tucker Carlson's side. Hey, Ben, I know you work down there. I know. But we got a question for you, sir. Is your phone ringing? Is your time almost up? Because dare I say, if it don't go the way y'all need it to go on November 5th, the Daily Wire is going to file for bankruptcy. all of a sudden Jeremy's coming back. I think y'all are in trouble. Because remember, months ago, we read that article that said that Jeremy was trying to court Vivek, and then afterwards he went away because he figured it was in a great state. He didn't need to be there 24/7. Now he's back. And also, the Koonstress confirmed this when we were discussing her a couple months ago. She's saying Jeremy was standing with me against that and against my anti-Israel rants. He was standing with me. Now he's back all of a sudden. I think he might start cleaning out the cages because he sees all these other newspapers cleaning out their closets, getting rid of people. I think he's going to start getting rid of people at the Daily Wire. He better do it on the sneak. Even though there's really no sneak anymore. But if that gets out in the public lexicon, it's over for the Daily Wire. So we continue down. And it looks like MAGA and the regular folk are united against Ben Shapiro. Look who it is. Dave Rubin, aka Larry Elder's son. He had something to say. The disinfected liberals need a new home that isn't on fire. I, for one, would love to see Tucker Carlson and Ben Shapiro work it out. The disaffected liberals. Sir, this has nothing to do with liberals, sir. But maybe you're going to explain it in this clip. But this has nothing to do with liberals. This is conservative infighting. Call it what it is. Well, let's see what you said. This probably sounds stupid, but okay, go ahead. Fair use.
I've got 4 draft age children. So if you're playing recklessly, fast and loose with their lives, then I have a right to despise you. And I do.
Put a 1 in the chat if what Tucker just said was cruel irony, or press 2 if I'm reading too much into it. He said you playing fast and loose with people's lives. Sir, what did you do during George Floyd, sir? What did you do before that in 2019, 2018, 2017, 2016, 15, 14, 13, when you were on the air, sir? What were you doing? Like Professor Black Truth said this morning, Fox News is just infotainment. What were you doing, sir? You were galvanizing people against everybody else. And then they would go outside, parrot your talking points, and move the way you talk. Tucker, you're pro-war too. You just got desensitized to it because Trump didn't give you awards for 4 years. You didn't have to see coverage every day. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but it's irony that he said that you're playing fast and loose with people's lives. Maybe I read too much into it. Maybe it's me. Hey, Dave Rubin, thank you for the screenshot. We're going to use that next time we got to talk about you. We're going to use that.
Tucker Carlson has been going after Ben Shapiro pretty hard and claiming that Ben is not pro-America and a whole bunch more. And I would connect this to what we're saying, which is that Tucker and Ben are not on the opposite side of things, I think. I think they both love America. I think they may have different policy issues, particularly when it comes to foreign policy, perhaps. But
so they're on different sides. God damn it. If they have differences, that means they're on opposite sides, sir. Jesus Christ. They're on different sides on that issue. They are not the same, sir. They are not on the same page. I don't understand this. If they were on the same page, you would not be doing this 6-minute video. They're diametrically opposed to things. I don't understand how y'all did not see this. They just never expressed it publicly.
We need to make sure that the Tucker Carlsons and the Ben Shapiros are not in warring factions. Otherwise, all of those people who are on the way are going to be like, wow, look at these freaking people. Look.
They already did that, sir. They already did that. That's why I put Candace Owens in the thumbnail. It already happened. Again, conservatives do not read. And I wasn't just talking about books. It's also the room. They missed it. When she did that interview and he asked her specifically about what Ben Shapiro said regarding her comments on Israel, what did she say? We work in the same building and he has not talked to me about it. And then they sat in the room just now. And I guarantee if you watch the full interview, they didn't bring it up. But okay. Just like when Biden months ago said, what are we going to do with Gaza when this war is over? And Netanyahu looked at him crazy, like, what do you mean? And they put out the report that they had a fight about what was going to be the future of Gaza, which we already told you and outlined. It's about land, oil, water, not about destroying Hamas. There are resources there that Israel wants, and the United States wants a part of it. And Israel is sitting there saying, yes, you ain't gave us our border, but this is ours, and we're going to make it ours. And the U.S. is like, nah, we installed you. We want our peace. And they've been arguing. And now you also heard last week, Biden on several instances calling Netanyahu an a-hole. Allegedly. But again, like I said, conservatives do not read books or the room. Continue, Larry Elder's son.
Look at these freaking people. They can't even agree on anything. So I'm going to try very hard for the next little while to settle this issue. So I want to show you a video of Tucker Carlson. He's made remarks like this a couple times before, but I thought this was sort of the most direct and intense.
You're going to settle an issue with two people that are not even in the room with you. Got it.
Tucker Carlson on Russell Brand's podcast talking about Ben Shapiro. Take a look.
I would say two things. First, we have a right to be mad, at least. And let me just again speak for Americans, middle-aged Americans, which is what I am. You know, I've got 4 draft-age children. So if you're playing recklessly, fast and loose with their lives, then I have a right to despise you, and I do. So if you're Nikki Haley, who's running for president, or Ben Shapiro, or half the people I see on television casually mentioning the possibility of nuclear war or sending Americans to fight in the Middle East, or in any way involving us in a war that has nothing to do with prosperity and peace at home, nothing, in other words, to do with us, Americans, then I have a right to call you out and be really offended because it's my family. They live here. It's not a joke to me. There's nothing abstract about it. And that is the difference between what's happening in the Middle East from what's happening in Ukraine, about which I had very strong feelings, but I didn't think there was a realistic possibility that my kids could be enmeshed in it. Now there is. So I think, get some self-respect. I would say to my fellow Americans, get a clearer picture of what's important. Your children are important. That's number one, your children. And if they're threatening your children, I don't care what their justification is. They're your enemy. That's how I feel about it.
Okay.
Hey, Dave, you still want to tell us they're on the same side? All right.
First, I want to address the part that I agree with. I actually agree with Tucker on the meta part of this, that we should have sane foreign policy and we have to care about what's happening within our borders first. And I can tell you as a new father, the important thing is that my kids will live in a safe, prosperous country and everything else. So he's right about that. Now, the part where he's connecting it, and I'm going to remove Nikki from this because he's referencing a politician. Politicians have policies. I have never once heard Ben call for troops in the Middle East. I have never heard once for Ben calling for nuclear war. So when he says, I think he says, I have a right to despise you or something like that. There is a fundamental difference between saying, oh, we would like to help an ally, because that's what this is really about. He's talking about Israel. We'd like to help an ally with the arms that it needs to stop a genocidal terrorist organization from causing a second Holocaust, versus we're sending troops there and everything else. I think he's being a little kind of sloppy with that, but I'm agreeing with the meta version of what he's saying. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because I think that explanation that I just laid out there, that can be healed. And if we can heal that, then a whole bunch of people, all those people who I just mentioned who are kind of on their way, they're not going to be like, oh, these people are all crazy and look at them always trying to take themselves out. So anyway, I had Ben on the show last week and I asked him.
So I found the post finally. So he wrote this yesterday, Ben Shapiro. He probably talked fast as he typed it. Tucker is simply lying about my positions. I've been calling for a negotiated end to the Ukraine war, freezing the lines of conflict since early on in the war. And you haven't been consistent, but okay. I have never called for American boots on the ground in Ukraine, ever. I have never called for American boots to defend Israel, ever. But you're pro-Israel. So what do you think that means? If you were given the opportunity, you're not going to put American boots in Israel to stop Hamas, then your track record is kind of suspect on that, but okay. I've invited Tucker to sit down multiple times over the past few weeks to clear the air and discuss our differences. He said he's willing, but his team has told us that he's busy for months because of all his foreign travel. That offer remains open because he doesn't want to talk to you, sir. He knows what's going to happen. It's going to go super mega viral, but it's not going to go because y'all sat down and hashed it out. Y'all going to get into an argument over this. But continue, Dave.
About that, because I think it's important that we can defray some of this nonsense before it really lights on fire. And I thought Ben's answer was quite good. I want to ask you one other thing related to this, since I brought up Tucker a couple of times. He's been somewhat critical of you. I actually think kind of unfairly, and I defended you on my show a couple of weeks ago, basically saying that you were too overly emotive about Israel and what was going on there. And I think there's some subtle overtones that come with that. What do you make of his criticism of you related to this? Also, and I know it's not the most fun thing to talk about because we all live in the same world in a sense. Also, the fact that he's trying to build a network. You have a network. He might view you as competition now.
It's not his.
There could be some other motives going on here.
I mean, listen, best to Tucker in all of his endeavors with regard to his network. I think that he put out a
family. Whenever somebody says that first line to you, best in his endeavors, that's F you. That's just being very nice about it. He just told Tucker F you.
Little documentary on the border recently that I thought was quite good. Again, I like many things that Tucker says. What Tucker said about me is that I don't love the country, which I found absolutely peculiar. It's something that I would never say about him. He and I disagree about a wide variety of issues, ranging from economics to foreign policy.
Didn't Dave Rubin just say that they were on the same side? Conservatives lied to your face. I love it.
And that's a bizarre notion. And again, I've actually invited Tucker to come on my show. Like, we've been texting. I think it's good for the right to have these discussions.
Come on my show, buddy. Come on. We'll talk, and then afterwards we'll go get croissants. Well, you can have a croissant. I'm gonna. You know what? I can't even say that. Fuck it. I'll say it. I'm gonna have the gefilte fish. You know what? We'll go out for some croissants, gefilte fish, some lox and bagels, and have you ever tried the pastrami down here? It's great in Tennessee. They actually put a little bit of liquid smoke on it. It's beautiful. It's quite tasty. We'll go out and get some.
Be perfectly willing to discuss with him. Hopefully we can work out a time to make that happen. Because yeah, I mean, I too would be interested in some clarification of whether, in fact, he does think that I don't love the country in the way that he suggested. Because again, I think that I doubt he feels that way. I really doubt he feels that way. Perhaps it was poorly articulated, but I'd like to certainly ask him the question.
All right, so Tucker has said it a couple times. Tucker, I'm happy to talk to you anytime. I'm happy to facilitate a conversation. You guys are obviously
how they're whoring themselves for an interview with Tucker. Look at this. Oh, wow. Okay.
Texting already. But the point of all of this is as these people wake up, let's give them a home that they can walk into that is nice and clean and orderly and respects them different.
Damn, and there's the sales pitch, family. When these people wake up, let's give them a home that's clean. Sir, what ideology comes off clean? There's not one ideological home that's clean. Jesus Christ. The conservative household, not clean. The Republican household, not clean. The liberal household, not clean. The Democrat household, damn sure ain't clean. The moderate road outside that the houses are across the street from each other on is not clean because you fucks throw your garbage out in the street to try to make the illusion that your houses are clean. So miss me with the BS. And no, I'm not going to chill on the pastrami. No. I'm a brisket man. I like brisket. I'm not too fond of pastrami. I've had Cat's pastrami. Kind of threw me for pastrami in life because they put on that dry ass rye bread with the mustard. And I was like, what the fuck is this? But, you know. So, Dave, so we've gone from you whoring for this interview. Before that, you were trying to get your two friends together. And you literally don't even understand that these two men don't like each other. And you're trying to play peacemaker and they're not even in the room with you. I think I summed it up. Let's finish the last of your video.
Differences and all of that stuff, the way the United States always was, as opposed to all of these people being like, wow, I've been kicked out of that house, right? I've been kicked out of the Democrat Party and the progressives are loons and all hell's breaking loose over there. And then I'm like, oh, there's a nice house over there. And then you open up the door and then everyone's fighting over here. That will not be good. And we will just get more of this insanity.
Damn. Even the LGBT is talking French.
Who is we? Who is we?
Particularly for that subsector, because I wonder where you keep the black conservatives. Do you keep them in the attic or do you have them in the basement? Or ideally, you have them in the kitchen and on the grill with the sandals.
And a lot of white folk have demonstrated eloquently that they don't have no sense.
So that was Dave Rubin's video. I wonder what them comments look like. I wonder. And there it is. The first one, boy. I hope they work it out, but it's not entirely honest for you to reframe what happened here. Do tell. Tucker was attacked first multiple times at the end of last year, and he wasn't the only one. The high road is simply saying sorry, not trying to reframe what happened. She is a mezegoon. She is messy. Boy, look at her. She inserted herself into this. She is a mezegoon. She is messy. And we're not talking about the soccer players. She is messy. Are you serious, ma'am? You might as well have just said I. Hey, family, you have seen the first ever. You have seen an indirect we. Indirect French, we gonna call this.
Who is we? Who is we?
He did indirect French. Oh my God, no. She's not serious. Let me see. Yup, Ruben has a selective memory in this case. She actually talked to someone that got no followers. That is insane. He has recently started treating the public like they are stupid, in my view. My God. She was just on that man's show a few years ago. Here we go. The I'm friends with everyone shtick to establish moral authority, followed by a spin on what happened. What? What? She is a Mexican. And not the people that live south of us. Those are Mexicans. I'm talking about a Mexican. Bruh, she is messy. Now we know why the conservative house ain't clean. God damn, I'm getting in trouble.
Robert, stop it. Y'all quit playing. Quit playing. Robert. I didn't do this stuff. This is not me. I'm fighting for my life.
Candace, you're not doing a good job of cleaning up the conservative household. They gave you the broom and you're just moving it into the corner. You got to get the dust mites, baby girl. You got to get the vacuum. You can vacuum hardwood floors. It's okay. That's what it's designed for. Get the hose on it. Yeah, you know, the hose in the back. Yeah. Get that. Put the attachment on there with the slant that you can get in the corners. Get that. Get them dust mites, baby girl. I can't stop laughing. This is funny as hell. Hey, Candace. A legendary brother got something to say to you. You heard me.
You having an unnatural allegiance to losers.
You were so showing your teeth a few years ago when you were really hot. And now you talking. You busy. What else you got? I would gladly invite Dave on my show to discuss this, though. No beef. That's just how I see it. Ooh, this will be a very interesting backstage tonight. I will not be there. I wonder why. Another real Candace Owens lie. She's absolutely there, which I mean, I guess it's good. She still shows up to work. Damn. What? Dude, they made a lazy black joke to you. Ma'am. Ma'am, they just put a lazy black joke on you. Lord have mercy. We're going to get to... Why is Stormy Daniels trending? What does she do now? I cannot stand listening to Candace anymore. She's always pissed that everyone around her is ready to throw hands online. Daily Wire should either get rid of her or stop including her on the backstage episodes because she brings the room down. Ben was overly emotive on Israel. I've been extremely disappointed in how he has reacted to October 7th, including calls for the very censorship he has decried on other issues, because it's about... I love how they don't realize that Ben Shapiro is not pro-America. He's pro-Israel. He's for his people. I don't understand that. But y'all kept giving him money. Yeah, you see, Ben Shapiro. I mean, they really want to tell you that Ben Shapiro and Tucker Carlson are on the same side. All right. Candace is always the voice of reason. What? Yeah, she's always the voice of reason why people leave the room. This conservative infight is rather tiresome. Uh-huh. Funny for Dave to bring up how Tucker might have other motives, like starting a new network when Dave seems to be begging for some spotlight. Hey, Dave. David Rubin. Sounds like they're calling you too, sir. Yes, the wake-up call is not exclusive to black folks. Nightfall drop. You stop it. You stop it right now. Vincent Taylor went to no Vaseline. Pause. I like it though. Pause. Damn, Candace. So they called you a grifter and a lazy black woman. Jesus, and you sat there and took that. All right, get it. Liberals ain't gonna mess with them, people. I don't understand how y'all still think about this. We don't give a damn, David Baumblatt. We don't care. Why is everybody on this getting the fact that they don't like each other, but Dave Rubin didn't see it? But again, conservatives don't read rooms or books. All right. Before I think I'll open the phone lines, but let me look at this Fannie Willis John real fast. I was supposed to do it before we did the Tucker stuff, but yes, she's in court. They're trying to invalidate her as the prosecutor due to this Nathan Wade stuff. Let's see what they was talking about.
Refer to what I was told by the bar, that Rule 1.6 of confidentiality applies, and that I would be asking for an immediate review by the Supreme Court.
Sure, but applies to what?
Any communications is what the person at the bar told us.
Any communications?
He did not qualify.
You talked to Mr. Wade, that's covered.
Well, Judge, I don't know. He didn't go into those specifics, but this is what was told. Refer to what I was told. I was sitting there with my attorneys.
So he's saying the bar told him not to ask questions about Fannie Willis and Nathan Wade. Okay. What the hell?
Yes.
Oh, I saw this. This was funny.
Yes. And do you understand it that their relationship began in 2019 and continued until the last time you spoke with her? Yes.
Damn. So she been porking him for 5 years? Lady. Listen, she's under oath. So she might not be lying. Wait, they said he left? Wait a minute, bruh. Wait a minute.
We are, and we'll see what how the evidence presents itself. So with that, Ms. Merchant, are you ready to call your first witness?
Yes, sir.
All right.
We call him Beardy, and I know Mr.
Wait, my nigga really walked out. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. He really walked out that. Hey, judge should have been like,
No. Bro, ain't no motherfucking way, bro. Ain't no motherfucking way.
how he get to walk out like that? What? Oh, her name is Robin Yearty. Just testified that Fannie Willis told her directly that she was in a relationship with Nathan Wade and told her in 2020 and 2021, most definitely told her about it before November 1st, 2021. Let's see. I'll let y'all hear this.
Left the DA's office. Was it, were you fired?
No, I resigned.
You resigned, okay. Just one moment, sir.
Y'all ain't got no questions?
Can you tell us why you resigned the DA's office?
It took you that long to answer that question?
The number of things that was happening.
Ooh.
A number of things that were happening. Is that what you said, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay.
Do tell.
What was happening that caused you to resign?
It was a spiral of things. So
I
guess the last straw is I was put in a department that I knew had no knowledge about. Something happened and I didn't like it. They didn't like it. And that was it.
Okay. Did you have
you gotta love our women, family. They just straight to the point, but they're going to leave a little bit of vagueness in it.
Any falling outs with Miss Willis?
Well, we never spoke after that.
You never spoke after that. Okay. And so you're, without going into all the painstaking details, there is no doubt in your mind that from 2019 until 2022, Miss Willis and Mr. Wade were in a romantic relationship.
What's the question?
You have no doubt that their romantic relationship was in effect from 2019 until the last time you spoke with her.
No doubt.
Woo!
And that's based on your personal observations and speaking with them and seeing them together and things like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Damn. She's just dropping all the tea. All right. Do your thing. Okay, we're going to put that in the chat. See who want to come up and say something on everything that we've heard today. Oh, boy. Let me tell y'all something. If Trump walks on this and they kick Fannie Willis to the curb, man, they still going to lose, but it just be funny.
Personal directive to bring him to come. Then I can go through privilege issues with him, and then I can have Mr. Bradley testify. And we won't have to have an objection to every single question I ask Mr. Bradley, an objection to hearsay, an objection to privilege. So that's how I plan on presenting the evidence, because it makes the most sense. And I think I'll be able to overcome any privilege objections. We can talk about that when Mr. Wade takes his.
You know they want to put Wade on the stand. You know that. Did she really say that?
Because they deserve a DA that won't have sex with his employees. Because they deserve a DA that won't put money in their own pocket when it should go to benefit children.
I mean, that's nice, but you might have. You might have swapped. I ain't gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. We're not gonna be disrespectful today.
Be nice. Let's be nice. We don't have to go there. I mean, you're not wrong, but you didn't have to say it. I mean, good Lord.
Okay. This might mean that Fannie. Ooh, he did talk. Wait a minute.
For these trips, correct?
I use my business credit card for everything.
Okay, yes.
Why is he smiling when he said that? Family, it's over.
You used it for your kids' tuition.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh my
Used it for
God.
personal travel with Miss Willis.
Yes, ma'am.
And you have receipts from those business credit cards that you have to file with your taxes, correct?
No, ma'am.
No.
I file a statement. I turn over the statement, and whatever's there on the statement, the accountant looks at it, and the accountant says, okay, this is personal, goes over here, this is business, goes over here, here are your taxes.
So you have those statements. We'll call them statements instead of receipts. You have those statements, correct?
I have the statements. Yes, ma'am.
But when you answered the interrogatory under oath, you said you did not have anything to show the records.
Oh, hell nah.
Of
Wait a
travel
minute.
with Miss
No,
Willis.
family. Hey, wait a minute. We got breaking news. I'm finna play the whole thing. Nah. We finna play the whole thing here. That's wonderful. Thank you for telling me that. Yeah. I don't know why she told me my wife was in the bathroom. I don't know. Kids. But anyway, we're going to play the whole thing. I want to hear everything this man said and why he was smiling so hard. Pause.
Let me go here. There's a growing concern.
Proof it real fast. I want to hear everything Mr. Wade said. Go ahead. What the hell is that? That's a wild wig, lady. But go ahead. Where you at? There you go. Let's get it.
My name's Nathan Wade, Nathanwade.
Talk to
Good morning,
him.
Mr. Wade.
Good morning.
Prior to filing this motion to disqualify, you and I were friends, correct?
Yes,
And in fact, I supported you when you ran for judge in 2016.
you did.
Wait, if that your friend, wait a minute. If this chick is, if that was your friend, isn't that like a conflict of interest? I don't know. I don't know how that worked, but whatever.
I wear your shirts. My kids wear your shirts.
Mr. Merchant, your personal opinions have no relevance.
Thank you, Judge.
I mean that in the best way.
That's
all right?
completely fine. I
Let's
will
get
move
to the
on.
point.
Thank you. No. Totally fine. Thank you.
This must have been how Amy Robach was courting TJ Holmes. I don't know.
You filed for divorce from your wife on November 2nd, 2021.
Yes, ma'am.
And in that divorce proceeding, did you file answers, things such as interrogatories?
I did.
Okay. And so interrogatories are where you're responding to things that basically answers that the other side is asking.
Yes, ma'am.
And I've got your complaint for divorce. I'm just going to mark it for the record as Defendant's Exhibit 2. The first interrogatories that you answered, those were December 27th, 2021. Is that right?
They're about.
Okay. And in those, you were asked different things, but those are sworn. You actually swear to those. You verify them, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so that verification is where you're swearing under oath that everything in it is true.
Yes, ma'am.
And let's see, you were asked if you had any documents which relate to the purchase of gifts by you to any person other than the defendant with whom you have or had a relationship, romantic relationship, from the date of your marriage, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you responded under oath that you didn't have any documents to that.
That's correct.
You again responded to an interrogatory. You updated those responses on May 30th, 2023.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you actually sent those directly to opposing counsel in the divorce?
Yes, ma'am. I think so.
But in that one, you answered none again to that question, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Ooh, you lied.
So May 30th, 2023, you said that you didn't have any documents showing any purchase of anything with someone that you had a romantic relationship with.
I believe the interrogatory was gifts.
Okay.
Not anything. Gifts.
And I have it if you want to take a look. I'm going to mark, okay, so just for the record, I've got your complaint for divorce marked as number 2. I've got the verification and the interrogatories from 2021. I'm going to mark those as 3. And then your May 30th, 2023, I'm going to mark as 4. Judge, may I approach the witness?
You're right.
Thank you. That is what I marked as 4. This is what I marked as 3. Okay, thank you, Judge. All right, if you take a look at what I marked as 2, 3, and 4. Just see if you recognize those.
I do.
And are those, that's your divorce complaint, and then your 2021 interrogatory and your 2023 interrogatory, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, are they a fair and accurate representation of what is filed in that case?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd move to admit those as you have mentioned.
And this is 2, 3, and 4.
It's 2, 3, and 4, yes.
All right. Any objection from the state?
The divorce.
With no objection to 3 and 4, and subject to Ms. Merchant's representation that 2 is a filing of divorce. I just don't, the divorce complaint, I don't have that in front of me, that's subject to that representation. No objection.
All right. And by show of hands, any objection from other defense counsel? Seeing none, defendants 2, 3, and 4. That should be Romans 12, we'll just call them 2, 3, and 4, admitted without objection.
So that interrogatory that you filed in 2023, that's one where you said no, that you didn't have any documents relating to the purchase of gifts, that you had a romantic relationship with someone, right?
Which interrogatory are we talking
Number 4, 2023.
Which number in the interrogatory?
Number 4.
So which number interrogatory are you referring to?
It's Defendant's Exhibit number 4.
I have Defendant's Exhibit 4 here.
Uh-huh.
Which number interrogatory are we referring to?
Oh, which number out of the questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Hold on. It is number
Oh, he trying it.
24, 25, 26. All of them. Oh, this one. this one. This page number, but it is the second page.
All right.
They're asking if you have any receipts for restaurants, hotels, bars, things like that.
The first number one?
I believe it's the second number one.
The second number one? Okay.
So it asks you if you have any receipts for things like restaurants, bars, hotels, things like that, where you accompanied a member of the other sex romantic partner. Correct?
It says identify any and all occasions.
Okay. And so it says to identify any and all occasions where you entertain a member of the other sex, okay, who's not related to blood, and including dining, drinking, restaurants, bars, pubs, hotels, all of that. Okay. And what was your answer to that? None. Okay. So May 30th, 2023. You prepared this document.
I did.
Submitted it.
I did.
And it says none as far as entertaining a member of the opposite sex.
It does.
Okay. No hotels, no bars, no restaurants.
Correct.
Okay. You again updated that. Let's see. You updated it on December 22nd, 2023. And I'm going to mark that as defendant's number 5, and I have copies. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then you updated it once again on January 26th, 2024, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that one. May I approach the witness again, Judge?
Is that what you're marking as Defense Exhibit 6?
Yes, Judge. I'm marking number 6 is the January 26th, 2024 interrogatory, and then that one. And then number 5 is the December 22nd, 2023 interrogatory response.
All right, are you tendering those this time?
Yes, I am.
All right. Any objection from counsel to Defense Exhibit 5 and 6?
Yes, Judge. No, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Cross. Seeing none others.
What? I have them for you. So now that you have those, let's just talk about those for a minute. Those were verified, so sworn under oath. Okay. And one of them was December 22nd, and then of this last year, so last December, and then one was just recently submitted in January, right? Okay. In May 10th, 2023, Judge Thompson heard a motion to compel in your divorce case as well, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you were actually held in willful contempt.
Yeah, I'm going to object to the relevance of
His credibility is relevant, Judge, and if he was held in willful contempt for failing to provide answers and documents, I think that's relevant to this court.
How is that a prior false act or crime of conviction or anything else allowed for impeachment under the rules of evidence?
I'm not offering it as a prior bad act or something like that. I'm offering it towards his credibility, Judge, which you get to determine. If he's made misrepresentations in these pleadings, you're here to determine whether or not he's telling the truth or not. So if another court has held him in contempt and that's part of the divorce proceeding, I think it's relevant.
But just contempt generally can be for many different things. Like a failure to produce is not necessarily a false act, right?
Right, and he's welcome to explain that.
He may not have to. Ms. Cross.
I object to the relevance of that. That's clearly not a proper impeachment. We're going pretty far afield into divorce matters that don't have any direct relevance to anything that's pending before the court. Subject to the relevance of that and any further.
All right. I'm not seeing that being a proper grounds for impeachment. It's sustained.
Okay, let's talk about this December 22nd, 2023 verification. I tabbed it for you. Again, they asked you if you had any documentations showing proof of this relationship, proof of any relationship, correct?
I'm going to object to the phrasing of that question. I don't believe that's an accurate read of the interrogatory.
Let's be precise, Ms. Merchant.
Please read it. I want to make sure I'm accurate. Please read it.
Which number?
This one actually has a number. I tabbed it for you, so you should be able to open right to the page. It's number 22. The question specifically is if you have any tangible evidence of any nature in your possession or control or any other person or entity which relates to any manner of your activities to any person with whom you've had a sexual relationship during your marriage. Tangible evidence is notes, cards, letters, photos, films, recordings, documents, tapes, video recordings, receipts, invoices, and other tangible evidence.
Yes.
And you answered that you did not have any documents to that effect, correct?
Correct.
And that was on December 22nd, 2023?
Yes, ma'am.
You updated those responses again after the motion to disqualify was filed, though, correct?
When was the motion filed?
January 8th, 2024, when I filed the motion to disqualify you and alleged that you had a romantic relationship with Ms. Willis.
Yes, ma'am.
After that, you updated these responses, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And so your new responses, you now changed your answer from that you didn't have any of this to you're asserting the privilege under 24-5-505, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And both of these are under oath.
Yes, ma'am.
You also updated your response to the question about spending time with someone other than your spouse for dinner, drinks, things at restaurants, bars, hotels, or the other person's home, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So in December of 2023, you said no to all that. And then in January, after I filed my motion, you said privilege to all that, Fifth Amendment privilege.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And just to be clear, was it?
Sorry, I'm going to object to characterization of Fifth Amendment privilege. I think it was a statutory privilege, and that's quite different.
That's what I was just about to ask him. So that privilege covers infamy or Fifth Amendment privilege, correct?
So it's a privacy privilege is what I updated my response to do. Once you filed your motion to intervene in my divorce action, I then figured that you were in talks with my former wife's divorce lawyer.
Okay.
And because of that, I asserted a privacy privilege because I didn't want the proceedings of my divorce to bleed over into the proceedings in this case, which is the case that obviously you're involved in.
So your answers in December of 2023 that you didn't have any documents about any travel that you took with Miss Willis, that wasn't true, then, correct?
They didn't ask me about any documents regarding Miss Willis.
A romantic partner. They asked you for documents regarding a romantic partner. So I'm sorry, I inserted Miss Willis's name. Let me rephrase the question. They asked you for documents about travel with a romantic partner in December 2023. And you under oath said you did not have any, correct?
Y'all quit playing.
Okay.
Quit
And they asked
playing.
me about gifts.
Right.
I never purchased a gift for Miss Willis.
And they asked you about receipts for dinner, receipts for drinks, hotels, bars, and restaurants. And you said you did not have any of those.
I did not and do not have any receipts for any of those things.
Okay. And part of the civil discovery, they say that even if you don't have it in your pocket, if it's within your purview, you got to get it and give it to them, correct?
Your Honor, I'm going to object again to the relevance of the questions about the scope of civil discovery. I think she's asked him about statements he made in pleadings. The answers are already in record. And
all right, to the extent you're trying to establish a prior mistruth, Ms. Merchant, I'll allow you to ask a few more follow-ups, but then it's not there. We have to move on.
Thank you. So in 2023, December, you said you didn't have any receipts.
I do not have any receipts. I did not have any receipts.
But you did travel with Miss Willis in 2023, correct?
I did.
And you traveled with her in 2022, correct?
I did.
And you traveled with her in 2021, correct?
No.
So you only traveled with her in 2022 and 2023.
2022 and 2023 is what I recall.
That's what you recall?
Yes.
Okay. So you just don't remember if you traveled with her in 2021?
2022 and 2023 is what I recall.
Is what you recall. My question is, did you travel with her in 2021?
Not recalling any travel in 2021.
So it's not yes or no, you just don't remember?
I'm not recalling any travel in 2021.
So you did not travel with her in 2021?
Your Honor.
Okay, this has been covered. Let's keep going.
Thank you. Let's see, you filed an affidavit in this case, correct?
I did.
Okay, and I marked that already. I gave it to the state as number 1. So this is number 1. May I approach, Judge?
Right.
Thank you. In that affidavit, you swore under oath, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And in that affidavit, you swore that, well, first of all, do you recognize the affidavit?
I do.
Okay. Did you sign the affidavit under oath?
I did.
And you gave this affidavit specifically to refute the allegations that I had raised.
Yes, ma'am.
Nobody forced you to sign this?
No, ma'am.
You chose to sign it?
I did.
And you signed it on purpose to admit into court to refute allegations?
I did.
You signed it specifically to prove that you were not in a relationship with Willis prior to November 2021, correct?
Correct.
And you were a lawyer when you signed it?
I was.
And you're still a lawyer today, correct?
I am.
When were you barred?
1999.
Okay. And you believe that your relationship with Ms. Willis is subject to attorney-client privilege, correct?
I'm going to object to that, Your Honor. I don't think that's factually correct. I don't think that's a relevant question, and I don't think it's appropriate to question this witness about the scope of his attorney-client privilege. He's got an attorney who can speak for him for that, but questioning the witness, I think, is inappropriate.
All right, so a lot to unpack there. The question is simply that does he believe there's a relationship that exists in the terms of attorney-client privilege between him and Ms. Willis? Is that accurate
Yes, Judge,
assertion?
it was. I asked if he believed his relationship with Ms. Willis is subject to attorney-client privilege.
Okay, I don't see why yes or no would be barred.
Maybe I'm not understanding the question. If the question is, does Mr. Wade and District Attorney Willis have an attorney-client relationship?
It is not.
There's no foundation for that. If the question to the witness is, does his relationship with District Attorney Willis impact his attorney-client relationship with his divorce attorneys? That I don't think is an appropriate question for that witness. First, I believe is a proper phrasing. The second, I think there's been a representation that Mr. Wade preserves and doesn't waive anything, and so I think asking him particular questions in order to potentially backdoor a waiver is inappropriate, and that's my question.
All right, if we're just trying to again assess where a privilege does or does not exist, and we're not actually getting into it, I think we can establish those, parameters. But Ms. Merchant, can you rephrase the question based on that concern, and we'll see where we are?
Yes. Do you believe that your relationship with Ms. Willis is subject to an attorney-client privilege? Not if you and Ms. Willis have one, but do you believe that relationship is subject to one?
I'm going to object to that question as it's.
Just me.
Okay. But when you answered the interrogatory under oath, you said you did not have anything to show the records of travel with Ms. Willis.
I answered the question. I had no receipts, ma'am.
You had no receipts, but you had statements.
I ordered the statement, yes, ma'am.
You did order the statement. Okay. And so we're just talking the semantics between invoice and statements or receipt. I'm sorry.
I'm going to object, Your Honor, to the argumentative tone of the question. I believe it's an ask and answer to the facts.
All right, it's the same.
Let's see. You also in this affidavit said that no funds paid to you for compensation as your role as special counsel was shared with Willis, correct?
That's correct.
And that you never cohabitated with Willis, correct?
That's correct.
By cohabitation, does that mean that you never spent the night with Willis?
I spent the night with her. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so I just want to qualify your use of the term cohabitation. That means you didn't live together.
That's correct.
But you did spend the night together.
Yes.
When was the first time you spent the night together?
Your Honor.
That's the subject of his affidavit, Judge.
Right, but it might not be the subject of this hearing. So the question is the nature and extent of the relationship. And so if they just spent the night on a single occasion, I don't think we're going to document in detail every single time that happened.
And I don't intend to do that, Judge, but I think what is relevant is when the relationship started. And that's what you had indicated on.
Why don't we start with that question and go from there?
And that's what I asked when the first time he spent the night with her was. That's what I asked.
That's a different question, isn't it?
Okay, so let's not talk about when you spent the night. When did your romantic relationship with Ms. Willis begin?
2022.
When? In 2022.
Early 2022.
So you were appointed in November of 2021.
Yes, ma'am.
And your relationship started early. What's early? January? February?
Around March.
Around March. But you two met at an October 2019 judicial conference, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And describe your relationship at that point then.
Which point?
2019.
So I was at a judicial conference to teach a course, if you will, to newer judges. I did that in 2019. As I was exiting the conference, another judge was standing outside who was a friend of mine. I stopped and exchanged pleasantries with her. And standing, talking to her at the time was then Judge Willis. She introduced us at that time. We shook hands, exchanged business cards, and I got into my vehicle and left the conference. So that meeting was probably 3 minutes.
When was the next time you talked to her?
Didn't talk to her again.
Yes, ma'am.
Probably
Hold on.
maybe a month.
Yes, ma'am. This is in regards to establishing that Wade and Fannie had or have an appropriate relationship, which is going to hopefully, the way she's talking, prove bias and in a way either get him off the case or get Fannie off the case, which would ultimately mean that Trump will be declared a mistrial and he get off. And I don't think Georgia is going to go and re-prosecute him this close to the election. It's going to look crazy. The way I see it playing out, if it all works out, she's going to end up having to resign. If they can prove that what you'll hear very soon, that she used taxpayer money to put in his pocket and use credit cards from the state to pay for things for this man. But we'll continue. Oh, before I should go back to this, hey, remember what I said earlier about the parade? How they saw a whole bunch of black people running around and they had two people in the still shot with handcuffs and they thought it was them? Hey, you lying bastards. Hey, y'all want to come up here and tell me that I'm lying? Because while y'all were watching it, I went to go get confirmation. Yeah, these two that were running around the still shot said it was them. They weren't even part of what happened. Hey, you fucks, are you going to say sorry? Nah, we know you ain't going to say sorry. Which is why I said what I said at the beginning. Y'all have no integrity. Hmm. But, you know, it is what it is. Back to this.
For a month and a half, it gone by.
Okay, so you talked to her November, maybe?
Maybe.
On the phone?
On the phone.
Okay. How
Yes,
regularly
sir.
did you speak with her in 2021 on the phone?
In 2021?
I'm sorry, 2019. I'm so sorry. 2019. How frequently did you speak with her on the phone?
2019, after the meeting, I probably talked to her 2 or 3 times. She would have questions. I was the district rep for the particular district that I sat in. And the judges would, when they would have questions, they sometimes would go to the rep. So she was outside of my district, but she would call me. She felt comfortable calling me to ask me the questions. I don't know if you know the racial makeup of certain benches, but it wasn't very diverse. So she felt comfortable calling me for advice. And she did that. And we had also in common that she was starting a private law practice at the time, and I'd already had mine up and going. And we talked about balancing the demands of the bench with their private practice. So we didn't talk that often, but when she had questions, mostly legal issues that would come up, she would come.
I just want to make sure, because my question was just how many times, and you said 2 to 3 times, right? Okay. And in 2022, how frequently did you speak in 2022? This is before you were appointed.
I'm sorry, perhaps as much as your timeline, 2022?
I'm sorry, 2020. 2020. How frequently did you speak in 2020?
2020, it was more frequent than 19, obviously, but
More frequent. Can you tell me approximately a month how often you think you spoke with her on the phone?
Your Honor, I'm going to object to the granular detail. I think Mr. Wade can certainly answer however he wants to, but if we're going to go through every time we spoke on the phone as opposed to generally characterizing the relationship, it would be more detailed than is necessary.
Judge, I'm not going to go through every time they spoke on the phone. I'm asking for generally how frequently they spoke.
I think at that level, that's fine.
Thank you. About how frequently did you speak in 2020?
Per month?
I mean, if it was 2 or 3 times that entire year, you can tell me that. If it was more than that, then you can quantify it by month.
No. We spoke on the telephone often. I mean, I don't know how many. I couldn't give you a amount of time because remember, COVID happened and the world was shut down. But so we spoke on the phone more than 2019 did.
Okay, let's qualify it. Before her election in 2020, how frequently did you speak?
You mean as she was campaigning?
Before the election. Yes, as she was campaigning, before she was elected.
It's 2 different animals.
As she was campaigning before she was elected.
Okay, so during the course of her campaign, we didn't talk as much, obviously, because she was busy. Fulton County is a large jurisdiction to cover. So we didn't talk a whole lot, but she did know that I'd gone through the election process. So when things would come up, that she had questions about, she would call me and ask me. So
and just to be fair, I'm only
the witness.
Judge, actually, he's not asked and answered. And I mean, I don't mind him explaining, but I just wanted to know how many times. I mean, if we talk about every conversation they talked about,
You gotta let him finish his sentence, and then if you need to redirect him or have me direct him, I can. Mr. Wade, you can continue.
Yes. So sometimes it would be like a 3-second call. She would go, during your election, have you ever seen this? And I would say, no, but here's what I would do. And we'd hang up. She had a lot of professionals working for her, but she trusted my judgment, so she called me. It'd be a brief conversation, but she called.
So my question was, how frequently did you speak with her prior to her election? Frequently? Infrequently?
More than 2019, but it wasn't.
Tell me about your business. Do you have a partnership or are you a solo practitioner?
As it stands today?
Yes.
So today, I have a separate PC. My law partner has his own separate PC.
Okay.
So, but we're under the same umbrella, under the same roof. So we share expenses, we share income, and we split it.
So are you a partnership?
We are a partnership in the sense of we share expenses, we share income.
Are you registered with the state of Georgia as a partnership?
So the WBC firm that included myself, Terrence Bradley, and Christopher Campbell, we were registered with the Secretary of State as a partnership for a short period of time.
And that was dissolved, then, right, in 2023?
I'm going to object to the witness answer this question.
Mr. Wade, do you have something else to add there?
When things happened and we excused Mr. Bradley from that partnership, it left Christopher Campbell and myself. So now you have two separate PCs under the same umbrella, sharing expenses and income.
Okay. So let me just narrow down my questions then. Are you registered? And have you been registered at any time in the state of Georgia as Wade and Campbell?
Wade, no, ma'am.
You've never been registered as a partnership?
As Wade and Campbell, no,
Wade
ma'am.
and Campbell, yes, thank you.
But as Wade Bradley Campbell, yes, ma'am.
Wade Bradley Campbell was registered on April 1st, 2021 and administratively dissolved on September 8th, 2023, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Other than that partnership, you have always been registered as law office of Nathan Wade,
Yes, ma'am.
not with Chris Campbell.
Correct.
Thank you. So the affidavit that you filed in your divorce case, the first one in 2022, I think I'm up to number 7. I'm going to just show you, give you a group of exhibits for the $300,000. But you were paid over, the firm was paid over $300,000 in 2022, correct?
So, Ms. Merchant, it's not what I'm saying. They're numbers. They're there. It's the truth. The funds were paid. They were divvied between the three of us, going into an operating account. Expenses paid out of it. At the end of that, the 9,000 figure is what you have.
So that's where you got the 9,000 figure from.
Yes, ma'am.
And let's see,
She needs to be better organized. She's making me fall asleep because she's not being direct with this dude.
when you filed for divorce in November 2021, you would use Mr. Bradley's credit card to pay for things with Ms. Willis, correct? And then pay him back in cash.
I've never used Mr. Bradley's credit card.
You've never used his credit card?
Never.
For transactions to anything with Ms. Willis, out to dinner, anything like that? Hotels?
I've never used Mr. Bradley's credit card. I've never used anyone else's credit card. Not even my father's, and we have the same name.
And you pay back, if you ever did use someone's credit card, you'd pay back in cash though, correct?
Ma'am, I've never used someone else's credit card.
Can you take a look at the bank records that I gave you?
Did she just catch him in a lie? Uh-oh. This might have been where the clip started that I showed earlier. Let me see.
That's the largest tab you have.
For the record, which exhibit is this?
It is exhibit 9. It should be the largest section you've got.
Cornelia Jones, hello. John Guillory, hello. Fix that,
Let's see
hello.
what the next question is, and maybe then the objection is going to be highly relevant.
Is that an accurate copy of your Capital One statements that you provided in discovery to? Is that an accurate reflection of your Capital One records?
That I provided in discovery to whom?
To your divorce lawyers, or that you provided in the divorce proceeding.
Is the question, does he recognize it by sight?
I'm asking if it's a statement.
I think that is the question.
Well, I mean, it's a thick document, but I believe you if you say that this is what my wife's divorce lawyer gave you. I believe you.
Your name's on every page of that document, correct?
On every page?
Pretty much every page, not every page.
No, it's not on every page. No, man.
They're all Capital One bank records.
This white woman trying to be Matlock. You're
Just take your time, look through it. Tell me if there's anything that you think is not yours.
No, they appear to be.
Okay. And those bank records show that you paid for travel with Ms. Willis.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to object the relevance of these documents and the.
Well, I think, are you tendering exhibit 9?
I'm going to, Judge, and they're highly relevant to the.
Well, he's asking a question about the contents of it, and they haven't been admitted yet. So why don't we start there?
Thanks.
Damn, she don't know the order.
Well, so you're asking about the contents of something that hasn't been admitted yet. Right.
I'm asking him if that's what it shows because I know that they're going to object on relevance.
Well, first we got to say if it's you've authenticated.
Yo,
it, perhaps,
whose chick
before
is
we get into
this?
Other details of what's in
Whose
it.
prosecutor is this?
I move to admit.
Object on relevance.
On relevance. All right. And on that rule, Ms. Merchant.
Thank you. Those records demonstrate that you paid for travel with yourself and Ms. Willis, correct?
They should.
They should.
And let's just talk about that travel.
Okay.
The first trip is Belize in March 2023. Is that a trip that you took with Miss Willis?
Are you asking?
Did you take a trip with Miss Willis in 2023 to Belize?
I did.
Did you take a trip to California with Miss Willis in 2023?
I did.
Did you pay for those trips on that credit card?
I used the credit card to book the travel, but understand.
She paid you back cash.
Well, let me say this. Let's take the Belize trip, for example, since you started there. That was a birthday gift to me, so I paid nothing for that trip. Zero.
Okay. So the charges that are on your card, she gave you cash for?
She did.
Okay. So all of the charges.
Excuse me, I don't know if the witness had finished answering the question.
Oh, did you have more?
I did.
Okay.
I wanted to get into the charges on the card because so traveling with her is a task. You can probably imagine the attention that happens. So for safety reasons, she would limit her transactions. I mean, imagine trying to walk through an airport or sit at a restaurant or do anything. So there was no attempt to conceal. It's a credit card. Everything is here. So
And that's not what I asked. What I asked was the charges for Belize in March 2023 on that credit card.
Oh my God, he tried to pull it. He tried to explain it.
To Belize. Right?
They rehearsed this well, family.
She paid, yes.
Yes. So those show up on your credit card.
They do.
And you're saying that she paid you cash to reimburse you for all of that.
She did.
And she paid you cash for both of your portions or just hers?
Both.
Okay. So that trip, Belize, just Belize, she paid you for everything on Belize.
The entire trip.
Okay. So the food, tattoo parlor, all that stuff, she paid for.
What?
As I made it through the question.
Tattoo parlor?
Entire trip.
Okay. So the food, tattoo parlor, all that stuff, she paid for.
Tattoo parlor?
As I made it through the question.
There was no tattoo parlor in Belize.
The charges, there's a tattoo parlor on the charges. I'm not getting into what it was for. I'm just asking if everything that's on that card related to Belize, she paid.
Did Fanny put her initials on her? Did she put his initials on her ass or something? Or over the vajayjay, she wrote "slippery when wet." Nigga. I'm going to. They not gonna give me full monetization after that comment. God damn, I just fucked up.
Oh my God, bro.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Why is there a tattoo parlor charge? I need to know this. I ain't gonna hold you though, family. This prosecutor, she got this. She making me fall asleep. I yawned, family. I had to get away from it.
Mommy's at the supermarket. That's why she's not here.
That's wonderful.
She can't talk to you because she left.
Correct.
That's why you can't talk to her because she's busy looking for groceries.
Correct.
And when you're here doing all of your shows,
Mommy's broadcasts.
Broadcast?
Yes.
What's broadcast?
It's a program to people so they can learn things.
Yeah, and what's this?
That is a camera.
The camera?
Yes.
Does that take pictures of us?
It can.
So can you do that, Dada?
Can I do what?
Take a camera of me.
No.
Okay, you can do that later.
My kid just ethered me. Okay. Okay. Continue. Why he look at his face. Look at his face. I need to know about this tattoo.
You back for?
She paid for this.
Okay. Let's talk about California in May 2023.
Wait, she went to California.
Yes.
And you booked plane tickets.
Yes.
And her name was on those plane tickets.
Oh, here we go.
And so I know
Here we go. Hey, bitch made. Yeah. Us darks are the subject of the greatest things on this planet. Us darks are the reason why this planet still goes. Us darks and our energy, charisma, and aura are the reason why the inner core of the earth is still lit. Because if it dies out, all y'all die. We just rebuild. You want to keep coming up here and telling me something about Trump 2024? That's wonderful. Sit down, shut up. Don't say nothing in my comment thread. Learn something, or you can go over there to Rumble with them fools and be lied to every day. You pick it. Or you can take the picket fence that you live in, take one of the boards off that look like an arrow and shove it up your ass. And also do me this favor.
To say the least, shut up, bitch.
Now, you have got the parameters. Do what you want.
you said that you were worried about security and things like that, but that wasn't her name. When she traveled, she had to use her name.
Oh, so the plane tickets, yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And you paid for those plane tickets and you paid for a hotel.
So, again, the card, yes.
You used your credit card, and I'm not asking about after what happened. I'm asking, did you use your credit card to book your flight and hotel to California?
I did.
And there's a lot of Ubers on there as well.
Woo!
Did you pay for those Ubers as well?
Yes. We were in Napa.
And you're saying that
what that mean? Hold up. What that mean, sir? What that mean? You were in Napa. Okay, you could have got a rental car, sir. They got Teslas all over California. You could have got a car in your name. What are you saying, sir? This man he's smiling over some Ubers. Now, did you get the Uber X or did you get the XL? This is what we need to know. Because we know Fannie Willis, she don't do pools. Yeah, she don't do the pools. You leave Alexander Cabot alone. She did well until she got shot. God, I'm going to hell. Oh my God.
No, 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 no.
She was a liar, Alexander Cabot. She got shot, and that was a whole ruse so she could go work with the government. And didn't even tell her friends. Hey, Benson and Stabler one time.
You having an unnatural allegiance to losers.
That's what I said, and I stand on that. Hey, Nathan, we got something for you, sir.
I'll spell it for you. D-U-M-M-Y, period.
They tell you don't shit where you eat, sir. Look at him smiling, family. What are you smiling about, sir? You might be out of a job if the prosecution proves their case, and you're never going to get hired anywhere else. Oh my God, he's smiling.
Did she pay for the entire trip, or did she pay for her half of the trip?
The Napa trip, she paid for the excursions. So
the excursions!
The expenses sort of bounced out. I mean, there was never, let me be clear, there was never a time when I would say, hey, I bought dinner. Dinner cost $25. You need to give me $25. If you've ever spent any time with Miss Willis, you understand that she's a very independent, proud woman. So she's going to...
No, he didn't. No, he did not sit up in there and hit her with the black woman stereotype on the stand. Here come the think pieces. Brothers, we got to have a huddle. Come in real fast. Pause. The think pieces are coming on that piece of business right there. It's coming. They are coming. Now black women who have positions of power can't have fun in Napa Valley. Nathan Wade, thank you, sir. You just gave me a clip that we got to play for the family. Yes, I made you porridge. Yes. Catherine, I'm in the middle of something. Give me 2 seconds, please. Okay. Jesus Christ. I can't even do a show. Now she want more cornmeal porridge. I can't even do a show. I'm gonna have to leave y'all for a second. She want more cornmeal. I can't believe this. Thank you, Nathan Wade, and I hope I don't get copyright hit for this, but we got to do this for you, sir. How dare you? You know where I'm going with this.
Having big fun.
They went to Napa Valley to have big fun. They went to go see all the vineyards and French Laundry and the big redwoods and have big fun. They didn't go to Napa Valley for the chocolate donuts. They went for the big fun.
Asphyxia, and you're down in Baltimore having big fun.
Big fun. Big fun. All right, let me go get this baby some more of this cornmeal porridge. I'm gonna let y'all hear what he say. He gonna tell us more about the big fun. And shout out to the Publix water right there. Publix must be gaining hella money for this advertisement that was not put into the script. Anyway, go ahead. Hold on. My bad. I didn't even put it. No, Torian, they were not with the wretched.
So let me react
Unless
the
you want to call
question.
Fannie Willis wretched.
A California trip that you paid for, saying that she did not pay you back for cash. Instead, she paid for excursions, and you believe that was roughly half.
No, she gave me some cash, yes.
She
But
gave you
what I'm
some.
saying is the everything that we did when we got into Napa, she paid for.
The trip that she booked on her credit card in Miami, did you pay her cash back for your half of that?
No.
So you never paid her back for the tickets she bought for you?
No. I would say I did pay her back because there were times when I would pay for dinner.
Okay.
She would pay for dinner. It would balance out. But in a relationship, man, you don't, particularly men, we don't go asking back for anything. So you're not keeping a ledger of things that you pay for versus the thing that she's paid for, which is why I said that it was a point of contention because she was very emphatic and adamant about this independent, strong woman thing. So she demanded that she pay her own way.
But she's the district attorney of Fulton County, and she has to file financial disclosures disclosing any gifts with anybody that she does business with in Fulton County, correct?
I don't know.
Okay. Let's talk about Tennessee. You booked a cabin in August 2023 and paid for a cabin in Tennessee. That's when you paid for it. I don't know when the trip was. Can you tell us about that?
August of 2023.
You booked a trip for $1,481.54.
Are you asking me, did I take that trip with Miss Willis, or are you asking me?
First, I was just asking you to acknowledge that that is correct from the records, that you paid for a cabin in Tennessee. Do you recall, and hopefully you can do it from your memory, do you recall paying for a cabin 6 months ago, $1,400.81 in Tennessee?
Where are we now? What page is that?
I'm just asking from your memory. Do you remember paying for a cabin in August?
Your Honor, if he's going to be asked about a particular transaction.
You can answer whether he remembers or not.
Mr. Wade, I'm not asking you to go through 1,000 pages of records. I'm asking if you remember paying for a cabin 6 months ago in Tennessee.
No.
Do you remember booking a cabin?
I booked lots of cabins.
Oh, I came back right at the perfect moment. He's still talking about more of the big fun?
Asphyxia, and you down in Baltimore having big fun.
He's still talking about the big fun. Now wait, what did you guys say? Hold on. Ms. Nisa, you say he went Dutch. Wait a minute. Let's get it. Nathan. Come on, sir. We're not doing this.
Did you go to a cabin with Miss Willis ever?
Ever.
Ever.
Forever. Why is he thinking about this? Sir. Negro. No. Why are you thinking so hard on this? Wait a minute. Family. No. He ain't getting away with this one.
No. Bro, ain't no motherfucking way, bro. Ain't no motherfucking way.
Bruh, ain't no lying, bruh. How do he lying by not saying nothing? I gotta hear that again. Bruh, look how long he went to answer. Bruh. Screenshot.
Did you go to a cabin with Miss Willis ever?
Ever.
Forever? Nigga, why you sniffing so hard? You did some coke before you walked up in there?
When The Rock does like that, that means you talk. Okay? Here we go.
You've never gone to a cabin with Miss Willis?
No.
How long did it take you just to say no? It was almost 30 seconds.
When was that?
That was
around
2022, early 2022.
Early 2022? Okay.
It was a day trip.
He lies impeccably.
So it was a day trip. We would drive there, lunch, drive back. The reason we would do that is because the attention, she couldn't get any peace of mind going locally, so we get in my car and drive to someplace off the beat path and have lunch and drive back.
Is that when you went to Fane Goat with her?
Torian.
It's in Jasper.
No, that's in Georgia. I don't.
Torian. Was somebody laughing? Oh, they coughing. Torian, there you go. Torian gonna start it. Torian went and started it. He went and started it. Damn, I can't find that clip. Shit. I was gonna get that clip of Dwayne Wayne laughing during that court proceeding. He was like, oh, and then he was like, my bad. I was gonna get that, but nah. All right, go ahead.
I don't recall going to Fane Goat with her.
So the Tennessee day trips were only Tennessee.
Yes.
Okay. Did you ever do these day trips in Georgia?
Did we drive anywhere in Georgia?
Yeah, you were talking about day trips
we
going
drove-
out. And I'm talking about outside the metro area. Day trips that you were just talking about. These trips you were talking about. The ones that I'm only asking about the ones you were just talking about. Are all of those in Tennessee?
No, we drove to Alabama before.
Okay.
Back.
Nigga. He fell for the trap and didn't even realize it.
Baltimore having big fun.
You might as well said you went to Baltimore and had the big fun. Bruh. She just established a relationship, sir. You fell for it. It's even worse. Yes, digit hole. Yes. Fucking Terrence. Was it Terrence? Yeah, I think it was Terrence. No, not Terrence. What's that nigga name? The one that was running with old boy. With Bumper Robinson. What was that motherfucking name? Fuck it. You gonna call Gina a digit hoe. Nigga, you almost got kicked out of school for that.
You drove to Alabama? Did you go anywhere?
Terrell, thank you.
North Georgia.
I can't remember his name.
Yeah, I'm going to object to to direct his attention in some way to a time frame or a location, then I think it might be easier for the witness to accurately answer.
Ms. Merchant, I think if you don't have the specific details yourself, we need to start getting into specifics or more maybe broadly phrased questions.
Damn right.
You can't just be exploring around indefinitely.
Is it fair to say that you've taken so many trips with her you don't even really remember all the places you've gone?
So many trips?
You're having trouble remembering going if you went to North Georgia or not.
Were you asking me about specific places? And I want to be candid in my responses. So I have to jog my memory because these are places that I have frequented, but not with her. So I want to make certain that if there was ever a time that she accompanied me, that I was candid in that response.
Aruba, October 2022. And I've got business record certificate for these, Judge, maybe a little faster. But did you take a trip with her to Aruba in 2022?
Yes, ma'am. So that Aruba trip there was a package deal there. My mother had recently retired, and I decided to take my mother on a cruise.
Okay.
And the second leg after the cruise concluded, D.A. Willis and I went to Aruba. So that was
what the fuck?
All one trip.
What?
So my question was, did you go with D.A. Willis to Aruba in 2022?
I did.
Thank you.
Damn.
And you paid for that trip using your business credit card, correct?
I did.
Damn.
And you paid for a cruise as well, correct?
Now, I wish she would have asked this question. Which card was it? Was it the WCB card or was this a card and he wasn't on there? Because if he was still listed on that card, he could claim fraud. Oh, Lord. It's getting better.
That's the cruise I was referencing with D.A. Willis, my mother, and myself.
Okay, and because there's two cruises, so let's just talk about the first one. So the first one was that's the one with your mother.
Yes.
And so you introduced D.A. Willis to your mother. That trip, you all took a cruise together, the three of you.
Yes.
After the cruise was done, you and D.A. Willis flew to Aruba together, and your mom flew home.
Yes.
And you paid for all of this with your credit card, on your business credit card.
I did.
And are you saying that Ms. Willis paid you cash back for that?
She did.
And
but let me make this distinction though, because the number that you're looking at reflects the three people on the cruise ship. There were things that my mother and I did, just the two of us, that D.A. Willis didn't do.
And I'm not attributing that. I did not. My math is not good, but I did not include anything with your mother on this. Can I show?
You wouldn't be able to see it because it's not separated out. It just shows a charge on the account when actually it would have been something with my mother and I.
Judge, may I approach with exhibits 10 and 11? They're both certified business records one's from Vacation Express, one's from H2.
Top 10 was taxes.
I'm sorry, 11 and 12. Yeah, for sure. Thank you. But these are business records, Judge. They have the certifications. I moved to admit them.
All right. Defense 11 and 12. Ms. Cross.
Based on Ms. Merchant's representation that they are true and accurate as to the certification that was provided to her, you have no objection.
All right. Again, seeing no other objection, they're admitted.
So just the trip to Aruba alone for you and D.A. Willis was $3,835.26, correct? Just Aruba.
I'm looking for the amount.
This one is 11.
Yes, ma'am. $3,835.26.
And then the Royal Caribbean for just you and Miss Willis was $1,269.70, correct?
No, ma'am.
Your mother's got a different line item on there. I'm talking about the cruise, the actual cruise cabin.
I think you need to rephrase that as in the form of a question, Ms. Merchant.
Did you pay Royal Caribbean for yours and Miss Willis's cabin $1,269.70?
Where are we? Which page?
We're on the receipts. There's just a few pages of receipts on exhibit number 11.
Okay. I'm in 11.
Look at him.
To where you are.
Look at him.
In exhibit 11.
The receipt for Royal Caribbean.
You got to keep going over there to go help this man. Why did y'all highlight the John?
So we've got your flights on the one page. Sarah asked about Aruba.
I wonder if I could record it.
And just for the record, I blacked out their
I think I can.
And then Royal Caribbean may be on. Oh, it's small. It's hard to read. It's very hard to read. So let me ask it this way then. Do you recall paying around $1,269.70 for a Royal Caribbean cruise for you and Miss Willis? You don't remember that?
That amount seems kind of small.
That prosecutor getting a little feisty. I like it though. That's crazy. Guys, this is Fanny in trouble. Put Fanny on the stand. We need this.
Oh, I don't.
Okay, so you believe it was higher. Yeah. Okay. While you were in Aruba, then you bought a cruise, a Norwegian cruise, right? And that was the New Year's Eve cruise?
While I was in Aruba, no, ma'am.
The credit card documents that were admitted earlier show the purchase date when you were in Aruba, but you don't remember doing that in Aruba?
I didn't purchase a cruise while I was in Aruba. That may be when the cruise company decided to run the invoice, but I didn't purchase a cruise in Aruba, no, ma'am.
Around the time you went to Aruba, you purchased a cruise for Norwegian for you and Miss Willis to take for New Year's, correct?
Before I went to Aruba, yes, ma'am.
And that was roughly $3,387.
Damn!
I mean, the cruise. I'm sorry, the cruise, the Norwegian cruise.
So that cruise was with my sisters.
Okay.
And the number that you are seeing would reflect my buying dinner for my sisters and their husbands.
I'm just talking about the cruise, the amount that was paid for the cruise ahead of time when you booked the cruise. I'm just talking about that.
Okay.
That was a little over $3,000.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, and I understand you're saying you paid for other things, but I'm just talking about the cruise amount. Okay. And you paid for a Jeep and you paid for dinner while you were there in Bahamas.
Yes, ma'am.
That's the one that Miss Willis paid for a flight for, correct?
The flight she paid for, yes, ma'am.
Actually, a documented paid for, not cash. I'm talking about a non-cash transaction. That's what she paid for.
You mean the one that I provided the receipt for?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. That's that.
Okay. And so she booked that on her credit card and wasn't worried about. I know you said earlier that you were booking everything because she was worried about people knowing where she was traveling. She didn't have any fears booking that one, though, correct?
She wants to ask if that was the transaction.
I'm quick with getting these drops,
I
man.
think you can rephrase the question, but also sustain it on the current phrasing.
So she purchased that under her own name, correct?
She did.
Okay. Let's see. So I know we talked a little bit about the seminar where you all met. Isn't it true that you would go to Miss Willis's house in South Fulton County occasionally?
I've never gone to her house in South Fulton County.
You've never gone to her house in South Fulton?
I've never seen her house. The first time I even heard the address of that house was when one of the individuals in the election for our case somehow doxed it and it got out. That was the first time I'd even seen that address.
But you would go to the East Point condo, correct?
What East Point?
East Point, Hateville, something like that.
I've never been to East Point with Miss Willis.
You've never gone to a condo in either the East Point or Hateville area with Miss Willis.
Wait, that's different.
Okay. So Hateville.
Yes, ma'am.
So you have gone to a condo with Miss Willis in Hateville.
I have.
Have you spent the night there? Never spent the night.
Never.
Is that the condo that was rented by Robin Yeardy?
Say you don't know. Nigga, why are you taking so long to answer these questions?
When The Rock does like that, that means you talk, okay?
Why is he, bruh? Who mans is this? Who mans is this? Why is he taking so long to answer these questions when she starts when she gets there a line of thinking, and then she's not that good, but when he has to recall who's somebody there or what you paid for, he's sitting there taking like 10, 15 seconds to answer. You're lucky she didn't treat your ass like a hostile witness. Family, this is this is good, man. Whew.
I believe it was.
And other members of the DA staff were there as well, correct? Sometimes.
I've never been around other members of the DA staff. A condo.
Talk to him.
There's never been any security for Ms. Willis?
Not around me.
Did you ever ride with Ms. Willis with her security detail to and from the house?
No.
You served on Ms. Willis's transition team, correct?
Yes.
And you were part of all of her interviews where she interviewed and re-interviewed employees?
I would say probably 98, 99% of them, yes.
Is it fair to say you took an active role in these interviews?
Yes, ma'am.
Prior to this, you'd never worked at a DA's office, right?
Have I ever worked in her DA's office?
At a DA's office, any DA's office?
No, ma'am.
What's her number?
Have you ever managed a large law firm? Or a
Your
large...
Honor, I'm going to object to the relevance of these questions.
He served on her transition team, and so what we're trying to prove is that there's a personal and financial relationship, and that it was improper. And so, whether or not he had experience to serve on this transition team, I think is relevant.
Right. I think I already said we don't need the evidence.
Okay. Terrence Bradley also received a contract for Fulton County, correct? Correct.
You're asking me about Terrence?
I asked if Terrence Bradley also received a contract for Fulton County.
I believe that he did.
You were partners with him at that time, correct?
I was.
So under what you testified to earlier, you would get a third of that contract as well, correct?
I would have.
And Chris Campbell also had a contract with Fulton County.
I believe he did.
And so under what you've testified to, you would also get a third of that, correct?
I would.
They both had contracts for what are called first appearance, which is where they would appear on behalf of the district attorney to do first appearance hearings, correct?
I believe they did.
Okay. And they also had what's called a taint contract. They both entered into them January 25th, 2021, correct?
Filter, yes, ma'am.
Taint or filter.
Yes, ma'am.
And that was for work in the anti-corruption unit?
I don't know that it was anti-corruption. I think that it was civil rights, maybe.
Okay. And Judge, the DAs or Fulton County's come and I guess brought a certificate now, so we would move to admit the contracts. I've got those. Under that certificate, I was planning on doing it under the Open Records Officer, but I believe now they certified it. I just haven't looked at everything they certified though. So
I'm going to ask that the document be looked at and confirmed prior to its sender.
All right, Ms. Merchant, is there anything else? What other areas are you planning to cover on his direct other than these documents?
I'm planning on introducing all of the contracts and invoices, but I haven't had a chance to look at what Fulton County certified. So I'm planning on introducing those and then not much.
Can we do the not much?
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so this taint contract, and we're not admitting these right now, but if I represent to you that they say anti-corruption unit, can you tell us what a taint attorney for an anti-corruption unit would do?
I didn't have a part in those contracts.
They were your partners at the time, though, correct?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, and so you didn't have a part in those contracts, but you got a third of the contract payment.
Oh, absolutely.
So the taint contracts, that
Nigga, you
Bradley and
done.
Campbell, who are your law partners at the time, had for doing taint review, you got a third of those.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Damn.
I'll spell it for you.
You signed a confidentiality agreement with the DA's office as well, correct?
I did.
And I think I'm up to Judge 13. Marking that as number 13. Yeah, approach, Judge.
Yeah.
Showing you a copy of what I marked as number 13. If you could take a look at that and tell me if that is the confidentiality agreement that you signed with the district attorney. Okay. And this basically says you can't talk about anything that happens inside the DA's office, right?
Who just burped? That was not me.
It doesn't say you
Damn.
can't talk about it. No. You said it basically says that I can't talk about anything that happens inside the DA's office, and that's not what.
Are you tendering this exhibit?
I am, yes. We would tender 13.
Ms. Cross.
Fail to see the relevance objection otherwise.
Ms. Merchant, relevance of this?
Judge, it's relevant to his testimony. If he signed an agreement that says he can't talk about things that happen in the district attorney's office, I think that's relevant to this.
How?
Because it's motivation in his testimony. I mean, whether or not he's going to testify to something. It's also been certified. I mean, it's part of the record as from what Fulton County gave us.
Sure, but
Bruh.
he hasn't said that that's preventing him from testifying in any way today, is it?
So I can ask him about that.
It's confidential
Yeah, uppity.
affecting your testimony today?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, that's fine. Let's see. The contracts judge and the invoices that I wanted to admit all of his invoices and contracts with Fulton County. I have them certified. I guess I have them certified through Fulton County, so I wasn't sure if I needed to do that. I just wanted to know if the state had an objection to those before.
Well, they've had a chance to look at them. So that's the sole remaining exhibit in line of questioning here?
Yes.
And in terms of the follow-up questions, would it just be for him to say what's reflected in these documents themselves?
If they have an objection to the certificates that Fulton County has given, I would admit them through him because he could recognize them.
But assuming they're admitted, would there actually be anything substantive he would add of the documents themselves? No. All right. Okay. So subject to that qualification, do you have any other questions of this witness?
May I just have a moment? Sure. Thank you. Is it possible actually we take a quick break?
We're getting there.
Okay.
So that was it. So what have we learned on this, family? I think I can sum it up succinctly.
Baltimore, having big fun.
They went out of town to have big fun. Why does this sound so sloppy? Because whoever's filming it, they're messing with the mic, or they were messing with the mic or something. But you know, it is what it is. Hey, dude, Fanny watched you do this.
That's because you're a dummy. Okay? Dumb little, stupid little dum-dum.
You ain't never gonna see her panty line ever again in life. You gonna come in and try to explain yourself and her people like them chicks at the club cock blocking. Pause. Gonna be like this. Fanny, let me just explain, Fanny. Let me just explain. He's like, will you leave me alone? No, but baby, let me explain. You're like, man, get your woman conniving ass up out of here. But baby, please.
You want some more? Do you? All right, bim, bam, boom. Somebody get this nigga out of my way.
And you're gonna be right out the door, brother. Boy. That was a beautiful piece of tape. Unbelievable. And on a Thursday, the day after Valentine's Day. I wonder if he got her a Valentine. You think he did? Oh, they back? Oh, they live right now? What they talking? He's still testifying.
Work was completed or before the special purpose grand jury actually publicly released the report?
When they released the report. Your relationship with
Damn, they brought the white man in on him. Oh, he done.
This grand jury released its report, correct?
At the time the report was released, yes, sir. But you understand that the report had the work had been completed.
Oh yeah, nah. Fanny is the honey trap, of course.
Release of the report, you understand that.
And your relationship.
She like him bald, black, and buck broken. Nigga. They gonna come see me. They finna come see me.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you.
We don't care.
Jerry.
I really don't. All black and buck broken. Nigga, why would you do this?
With Miss Willis, of course, was prior to the indictment in this case, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, if I may just ask my
You're too close, man.
here whether there's anything I need to clean up on. That's all the questions, Your Honor, I have. Thank you. Your Honor, I do have one.
Well, Mr. State, I don't think we went through.
No, I had asked him the permission, but he was going to go first on this, and then I was going to follow up. That's permanent. Allow him to go first. That's what I thought I had asked.
All right, let me. All right, with the understanding next time, we're going to keep going in order and not skip around the order. All right.
That's why I brought it up.
Okay.
Just like, leave me alone.
Mr. State,
Uh-oh, he brought the
I'm going to try
computer.
to keep my questions very specific.
Uh-oh.
And I'm going to also, of course, try not to go back into specific questions that have already been asked. Okay?
Yes, sir.
When did your relationship with Miss Willis end?
2023.
Can you give us an approximation of, not by date, but by month?
Summer 2023.
Nigga said date and he gave him that. Boy.
Forgive me. I'm a man. We don't do the date thing.
You a lying bastard.
Summer 23.
Now he just brothers, he just stereotyped us. What?
Using the euphemism personal relationship, did you have any personal relationship at all with Miss Willis after the summer of 2023?
I want to make sure that I'm answering your question.
Did you ever go over there and smash after getting out of a relationship, sir?
The way it has been characterized in, for example, the response of the state, and I believe in your affidavit, is there's a difference between a personal relationship and a professional relationship. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm not talking about a professional relationship. I'm
After
talking
you
about
broke up
personal.
with her, did you see the
You
panties?
had a personal relationship.
Did she let you
at
feel
all.
her up?
And you know what I mean by that.
You're asking me
Yo, y'all let
if
this
I
white man
intercourse
give him
with
this
the district
word.
attorney?
I was trying not to, but I guess
He about to call you dumb,
characterize
sir.
it as that, the answer would be
The answer would be no.
so. It's been purely professional since the summer of 2023.
So that's where we're having issues.
Nigga, it's easy. Where y'all kept, did y'all keep
have to
it
explain, 'cause I don't
copacetic
know
or
what the
did
issue
you
is.
fuck?
No,
It's not that
I will
hard.
explain. You say personal.
Did you go out with her? Did
we're
you
very good
did you
friends.
finger her in the back of the
Probably
car?
close
Come
to the
on,
elbow
my
because of
nigga.
the
You
heat.
know exactly what he's
But
asking
if
you.
you're asking me about specific intercourse,
We gonna
the
have
answer is
intercourse, so you knew what he
How
was
about if I
talking
change it
about,
from intercourse to romantic?
sir. Why he made his face like that?
During the direct examination, you made a statement, at least I believe I heard it correctly, that you personal relationship, and now I'm talking about that characterized the sexual romantic relationship.
Oh my
was
God.
not a secret. Is that correct?
wait. If you're asking me if people knew that we were having sex, no, they didn't.
I'm asking you whether the people knew that you were dating, whether you were romantically involved. You said that it was not a secret.
Oh, it wasn't a secret. It was just private. My mother knew, obviously.
Okay, did anyone in the district attorney's office that has worked on this case know that you were dating or had a romantic relationship with District Attorney Willis?
I don't know what they knew.
Well,
Did
did
you just said it
tell
was an
anyone?
open secret
Do
that
you
y'all was
have any knowledge
dating?
of whether Miss Willis revealed it to anyone?
I have no clue.
So as far as you know from personal knowledge, no one in the DA's team knew, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So if it was a legitimate relationship, is there any particular reason why it was kept secret or private?
Wasn't kept secret. It was kept private.
And the purpose for that was?
It's what we chose to do.
I'm asking you why, though, not just because you chose. What if you're dating someone? Why keep it private?
So, a few reasons.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is, and I want to say this
respectfully
in the right way.
Uh-huh.
there are some people who are in the public eye who just don't like it, don't wish to be there. I have tried to have lunch or dinner with her publicly, and I can't count the number of people that would approach the table or would accost us as we're trying to walk into a restaurant and just have lunch.
She's a she's a local celebrity, sir.
It is private. We don't want the world asking questions or interrupting that time.
Negro. She is known in Atlanta. Her face is all over the place. She would be considered a local celebrity, sir. You're not going to go anywhere public and people are not going to know who she is. Thank you, Catherine.
Mommy, I think you're not mommy. Sorry, Dada. Dada, mommy always tells me don't you hit your head like that. That's what mommy always tells me. I went too hard like that. And I was talking to Nana. That's what mommy always tells me.
Thank you for that information.
You're welcome, Dada. I tell Dada.
I got ethered by my kid again. Okay, sir. Again, she's known around Atlanta. There's no place except her house or your place. Nobody's not going to recognize her. Hey, I'm on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I can't go out to STK or the Atlanta Fish Market because I'm going to get spotted. But you're on TV. Yeah, but I should still have my privacy. Who told you that? You want to be in the public eye. That's what comes with it. So that statement, sir, earned you this.
To say the least, shut up, bitch.
I'm sorry, but that was a retarded answer. I don't want her to be accosted everywhere we go. She's the leading prosecutor trying to get Trump thrown in jail, and you thought she wasn't going to be accosted. They literally just had somebody threaten another judge in another state for going after Trump, or even just like prosecuting if he should be on the ballot or not. What did you think was going to happen to her? Lord, man, these simpletons just don't understand how life works. But go ahead.
So we weren't trying to keep anything a secret, Mr. Sadai. There's nothing secret or salacious about having.
But you expected the public establishment to keep your reservation secret, and you being in there secret. All right, sir.
When you went on the various trips that have been outlined by both Mr. Gillen and by Ms. Merchant, did anyone in the district attorney's office know that the two of you were traveling on personal trips together?
To my knowledge, Mr. Sadai, no.
And again, that was for privacy, according to your testimony.
Privacy, yes, sir.
Okay. Did you and Miss Willis go to the Hapeville condo prior to your relationship starting beginning of 2022?
Prior to having physical contact, prior to having intercourse, did we go to the Hapeville condo?
Again, you keep going to intercourse.
He just wants to know if you were there before y'all started in a relationship. Were you there?
To the Hapeville condo prior to what I want to say November 1st of 2021.
Yes.
Okay. And the purpose for going to the Hapeville condo with Miss Willis prior to 2021 would have been what? Or prior to November 1 of 2021?
Could have been any number of things, because at that time,
that's what I'm asking. So tell me.
Yeah, could have been any number of things, because at that time, she had a friend living in that condo. Miss Yurdy lived in that condo.
Okay. It maybe was my question was poorly worded. Let me try again. Your answer is yes. Prior to November 1st of 2021, you would have gone to the Hapeville condo and been there with Miss Willis, correct?
Yes.
And you would have been there, as you indicated, for many reasons, right?
Yes.
Can you give me just list a few of the reasons?
Miss Yurdi resided there, went to visit her, maybe went to talk about a document that I received.
You would go to the condo
I
to
needed
talk
to
about a
see.
document that you received?
Absolutely.
Okay, go ahead.
Absolutely.
Any other reasons?
None come to mind.
None come to mind.
No, sir.
And would you say that was frequent? When I say frequent, do you think prior to November 1st of 2021, you were at the condo more than 10 times?
No, sir.
So it'd be less than 10 times?
Yes, sir.
So if phone records were to reflect that you were making phone calls from the same location as the condo before November 1st of 2021, and it was on multiple occasions, the phone records would be wrong?
If phone records reflected that, yes, sir.
They'd be wrong.
They'd be wrong.
Okay. Where did you live during that time period?
Same place I live now.
Which is not in Hapeville, correct?
It is not in Hapeville.
It is north of Atlanta, the city of Atlanta, correct?
It is.
Okay. And any other reasons why you would be in the Hapeville area on multiple occasions prior to November 1st of 2021?
Ooh.
Let's see. The Porsche experience is there.
I'm sorry?
The Porsche experience is there.
Okay, so that would have been one. Any other reason?
Yes, sir. The airport is there.
Airport in Hapeville.
Yes, sir. Delta Airlines is headquartered there. Let's see. Restaurants there.
Okay.
Baltimore, having big fun.
You know your girl Big Fun is down there. Don't even lie.
Try to remember everything, but if that's
okay.
Okay. Did you discuss your affidavit filed in connection with the response with Ms. Willis?
No, sir.
Did you know, personal knowledge, whether Ms. Willis reviewed your affidavit before it was included with the response?
I have no clue.
So as far as you know, personal knowledge, Ms. Willis did not know what you said in the affidavit.
I didn't give it to her.
That's what I said. You have no personal knowledge.
No personal knowledge.
And as far as you know, no one else has told you that she did or didn't.
I hadn't asked anyone.
We've kind of worked this up a little bit, and the numbers could be off. But according to our numbers, $10,000, give or take, would have been reflected on your credit card statements in connection with things of potential benefit to Ms. Willis, okay? I want you just to assume that. Assuming that there was $10,000 that you had on your credit cards, is it your testimony that Ms. Willis paid you back $10,000 in cash? Not asking about.
I object. The characterization of $10,000 for Ms. Willis's travel, I don't believe is an accurate reflection of what the numbers, at least the summary that I've been provided by. I think that's joint travel. Is that right, Mr. Shapiro? I'm sorry.
No, it's not joint travel. But all I'm trying to understand, I'll rephrase because I don't want to get bogged down on specific numbers. You would have received thousands of dollars in cash from Ms. Willis, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And the thousands of dollars in cash from Ms. Willis, do you know, I'm not asking you whether she took it out of her pocketbook or she took it out of a suitcase. I'm saying, do you know the source of the cash?
Just that, out of her pocketbook. Yes, sir.
You don't know where she obtained the cash?
I didn't ask her.
And the whole time that she was paying you in cash, you never said, hey, why do you have this amount of cash?
Well, Mr. Sadal, in my practice, people come into my law firm all the time with cash. I never question where they got it.
Yeah, but we're talking not about people that come into your law firm. We're talking about the district attorney of Fulton County, who I'm assuming receives a paycheck. She doesn't get paid in cash.
So just like you assume, I assume she got it from her paycheck. I don't know.
Okay. But of course, it's already been, and I'm not going to go back into it. You've not seen any records indicating withdrawals of cash from Miss Willis at all.
Why would I ask her?
I didn't
No,
ask.
sir.
All I said is you haven't, right?
No, sir.
Okay. Now, Can you explain why you filed for divorce one day after you were hired by Ms. Willis? You filed on November 2nd of 2021. You're hired on November 1st of 2021. Why the day after?
You mean one day before? So
you filed for divorce one day after you were hired, right?
Okay. I'll answer your question.
Okay, please.
So in 2015, when my wife had the affair, we had a conversation that we would divorce right then. Again, the better practice, at least for my children at the time, was to stay in place until the youngest could graduate and matriculate into college. We did that. When she graduated, matriculated into college, at the time, my wife had moved back and forth to Houston, to Texas. So she's in Texas. We take our child off to college. We come back to Georgia for a brief period of time. Divorce gets filed. She gets served. There we go. Now, the reason that date was selected.
Yes, sir. That's what I asked.
The specific reason that specific date was selected was because she was only in town for a brief.
Your Honor, this is attorney-client privilege. Why he decided to file.
And why do you have the right to object on his behalf for attorney-client privilege?
Because.
Well, I don't make formal.
All right, there we go. And
I believe that he's already attempted to answer this question and there was no privilege raised. So he's given a partial answer and now he's about to finish that. So first of all, I don't think it's covered by attorney-client privilege and I'll deal with that if you want me to. But otherwise, he's already answered part of it. So he doesn't get to say, now I'm going to stop. So.
Well, it was a long preface, but I don't think it ever actually got to what might have been at issue there. So if you can lay the foundation, we'll deal with the objection.
Okay. Take a step back. Okay. You realize that an attorney-client privilege is the privilege of the client, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you, in connection with your representation, at least has been proffered to the court by Mr. Bradley, that it's up to you to decide whether you want to raise the privilege, right?
Yes, sir.
It's not up to Mr. Bradley.
Yes, sir.
So you have the power, in order to get to the truth of the matter, you have the power to waive the attorney-client privilege, do you not?
I believe that's an appropriate question. The privilege is there.
Whether he uses it or not, it doesn't matter why. Mr. Sato, I think if we're trying to get to the answer to your question, let's figure out whether it covers the question you were trying to get to.
And if I may finish, and your position is you have no intention of waiving your attorney-client privilege, correct?
That's correct.
All right, so now, can you answer the question why you waited until November 2nd, the day after you were hired by Ms. Willis, to file for divorce?
I can.
Okay.
So, again, Joycelyn had relocated to Texas, and she had been in Texas for months. She was only here for a brief period of time to drive my daughter's car back with her. And when she came here to do that, I was able to then get her served.
Okay, so your answer as to why you waited until the day after you were hired by Ms. Willis, which would be November 1st, 2021, to file the complaint for the divorce on November 2nd, 2021. Your testimony under oath is because your wife was here, but had not been here in October, had not been here in September, had not been here in August of 2021.
She had been in Texas taking care of her ailing mother and
your testimony,
an aging father. So the first opportunity that I had after speaking with my lawyers to take care of that was the date it was filed and served, because she happened to be here. It had nothing to do with, that was purely coincidental, that contract.
I understand it's purely coincidence, your testimony.
Yes, sir. And understand that this was by agreement between she and I, she being my wife and I, that we would divorce when the children matriculated out, and that there would actually have been an agreement attached to the filing. It became apparent that the agreement wasn't going to happen, and things got a little contentious. So that's when the privilege will kick in, and I was forced to do it when I did it.
So if I understood correctly, again, you tell me if I'm wrong. Is it your testimony that your wife was not in Atlanta, Georgia, or the metro area throughout October of 2021?
No.
That's
In
not your
October,
testimony?
in October of 2021, she was back and forth between here and Texas.
So she was, at least on some occasions, in the Atlanta area.
But that was during the time when we were working through the consent agreement that fell through.
Okay, I think we're pretty far afield on relevance. The answer to the question about.
All right, no more. I guess we got the gist of it. I'll watch the rest of it later and formulate an opinion on it. Maybe I'll just do like a quick YouTube short or something. But yeah, Fanny's in trouble, boy. All right, y'all. We're going to get up out of here. It was fun for almost 3 hours. So hopefully you got something out of this. If you did, I did my job. If not, I will try to be better next time. Appreciate the super chats. Appreciate the comments. And I know y'all appreciated my kid sitting there ethering me during the show. Y'all not right, but that's all right. We'll give it to you. All right, y'all. We will catch you on the flip side, whatever side that is. Take care, stay safe, and you know what to do when the agents of chaos come to mess up your existence.
But I want to keep my podcast, Mo. Y'all ain't finna cancel me.